you ready?
This is the D-Generation CliX podcast with your hosts,
Who is Ravage?
Ryan Ruckman,
Ravage.
Hand me that bottle cap.
Miles Kane,
Hand me that paperclip. Grab that twine. Gun wrapper.
Daniel Schwab,
We
Best friends.
Asgard to Mouth, and Pete.
Cause I'm just me.
Welcome back to the D-Generation CliX podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me, as always, are Miles, Dan, and Pete. Miles, how was your Father's Day?
It was pretty good. I also had a birthday Friday, which is awesome because it's also my 38th birthday just so happened to be the 28th anniversary of Hercules Disney. So, that's a great movie. So, yeah, I spent the day watching that. And then Bulletproof Monk. Sadly, no one joined me in Discord. I was streaming Bulletproof Monk, so maybe next time.
Maybe not.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, that all sounds very special. Dan, did you do anything for Father's Day?
Besides wish my father happy Father's Day? Not really. It was a little quiet today.
All right, that's fair. Pete, how was your Father's Day?
I had a great Father's Day. My adult child decided to stay up till 1 a.m. even though I told her we were going to be up and out of the house by 4 for fishing. I'd like to report that everybody was on the boat at 5 a.m. Not happy about it. But we had a great day. We went fishing on Lake Michigan, pulled in about 18 fish. So I spent the rest of the day kind of cleaning and packaging everything, and had some Mexican food for lunch, and had a nice brownie with ice cream for dinner, and called it a day, and got on here to hang out with you fine people.
Very nice.
Would you call that a special brownie?
What's that?
Would you call that a special brownie?
Yes, but not that kind of special brownie, but still a special brownie.
So Saturday, we spent most of the day at the crawl space at my old work location and basically just pulling out boxes of my childhood. I was sending pics in the Discord all weekend, but besides old school, like just work and artwork and video games, there was like VHS tapes from when I used to record stuff, all the CDs that I used to have that I used to display. Then I also found a bunch of action figures. So my X-Men, Thundercats, He-Man, G.I. Joes, Battle Beasts, Ghostbusters, Monsters in My Pockets. Did I show you that one that went for $400, the one that comes with the NES game?
Yes.
I can't sell it, but it's pretty good fun.
That's a great weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great
Monsters in
weekend.
My Pocket is underrated. That is one of the best games ever on regular Nintendo that no one ever talks about.
Oh, I played it for months. Yeah, that was great. That's
Yeah.
one of my top remembered NES games.
Yeah.
And then just totes and totes of Transformers are coming out right now. So it was a long Saturday, but for Father's Day today, I started it with just some Fortnite with Ollie, and then Christine made some breakfast, and she made burgers for dinner. We just took the dogs for a walk and played some Super Smash Brothers, and I actually got Oliver to watch the DuckTales movie from 1990, which he was actually pretty into. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah. That's a good day. You had a solid weekend.
It was, yeah.
What did they think of your old toys?
Most of them are going to go to Oliver. So my mama said that I should have given it to him a while ago. And I said that there's not a chance because I'm not sure I trust him with them right now. But they're pretty old. Even I pulled out the Thundercat base, the Ghostbuster Firehouse, and Castle Grayskull. So he's got a ton of stuff to play with.
Kind of surprised there wasn't a bidding war in the Discord for some of it.
There was no point. He's not getting rid of it.
Yeah, see,
I
Miles
did the same
knows.
thing when I found mine.
I was gonna say this is
It
Redmond
was
we're talking about.
hard for me to give him to my son because I'm like, he's just not ready.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I still have this stuff, right? It wasn't so that I could sell it in 20 or 25 years to, get thousands of dollars. It was so I just have them always, and I can finally pass them down. So, yeah, I'm excited to go through it all.
Oh, I thought it was just because you're a hoarder. Okay.
This is cool stuff. Now, am I throwing away, Game Informer magazines and other things that I probably shouldn't have held on to? Like, what was that one thing that I had a box of? Overpowered, the card game. I kept like the boxes that those cards came in. So yeah, there's a lot of things that maybe walk the line of hoarder, but I'm
you
getting rid
might
of them.
be surprised how many people are actually looking for, like, if those boxes are mint. Like, there's actually buyers for those. It's insane to think that, but there is.
Those aren't mint, so they did get tossed. But I was looking at I have all the old boxes for it's one of the original Sega Genesis ones, and it sold for like $60. So I'm throwing that up on eBay. And then it was a Star Wars Nintendo 64 box, like completely empty. People just want the box, and I think it was like $60 or $80 or something like that. So, yeah, I just have boxes.
I wouldn't.
Which
I wouldn't
I
assume
that's
you.
crazy, but yeah, you can send those
Yeah.
to CGC to get graded for whatever
That's
reason.
nuts.
I don't know why I do that, but yeah.
Assuming you were trying to sell the stuff, I just am surprised nobody started offering things. People were pretty excited about the pictures. So,
Oh, and then complete card sets too. I had that one. Was that series 4 where they all made a big picture with all 9 in a card sleeve, like a card page?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it was series 4 or 5.
So, and I actually completed the set. I thought I was missing a few, but I have all of them. So that was actually cool to see too. But it was a pretty fun weekend. All right, Pete, do we have a Bookwood report this week?
Bookwood Report!
hello, friends. Welcome to the award-winning People segment, the Bookwood Report. And unfortunately, it's a lot like last week. Bookwood has bought nothing, or he's not told me about it if he bought it. So I'm not sure where the commitment level is with our favorite local tryhard and his award-winning segment. But we're committed to high-quality podcasts, and we're a full-service podcast. I think we give Bookwood one more try.
Wait, he has one more try, or else the bookies are going to get renamed.
I wasn't even going to give him the drop today for the Bookwood report. Someone else hit that.
Yeah, I did. I like the drop.
So we're recording on a Sunday, so nobody played him this week yet, but hopefully it is competitive modern, getting ready for Origins tomorrow. So hopefully he's there and I do get to play him.
And beat him.
Of course.
Humble him.
Actually, talk about what you're playing or no?
Still the same Sinister Syndicate stuff that I played similar.
Okay.
So I might still tweak it a little bit. I'm not totally sure. I got to pull all pieces. They're all sitting away still. So running out of time though. All right, so our last little segment here for Origins is going to be for Sealed. We've talked Modern, we've talked Silver, so we're just going to take a look at this finally. I was really hoping that we were going to get an announcement that it was going to be Lantern Legacy, which is why I thought this going last would be best, but not looking great for that. So we're going to go forward like it's going to be Smash and Destroy. So the powers in general, the set has a ton of charge and close combat, super strength to interact with terrain markers, and improved movement destroys blocking. So keep that in mind when selecting maps. For Team Sealed, you're usually playing your super rares, primes, and chases, right? Like the odds are those aren't getting sat out ever.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any primer that you're not playing.
Right.
Or super rare.
They're all good.
So let's just focus and run down mostly on the CURs, and then we'll wrap up with some of the other higher rarity stuff just real quick. But the first one, the 001A Hulk, is this one that you are going to play with?
Hopefully not bad, maybe. Like, 'cause he is still charged super strength. So
If you have nothing else.
that's what I was gonna say. He's my
Yeah, but if you're doing Team Sealed, he's not gonna be leaving that booster.
Oh, I'm thinking
Unless you have the other ones, but yeah.
They're getting a brick, right? So yeah, then no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about him.
He's not gonna ever hit the map.
No.
And then so B is going to add a little bit more to it, but again, I don't think you're playing him by himself too. He's still, what, 70 points, super strength. If you pull A, B, and C, would you start somebody with 1 though and play that? So 50 points, the 001 A Hulk, 6 clicks.
Yeah, I mean, if you got some perplex, I think so, just to get his attack up. I think because you can cheat on to get all that 100 points ones. But I mean, most likely, I'd probably more likely build with a 70-point one just because of his longer dial and a better chance of KOing something to turn into that Hulk.
Or if you get lucky and pull the C1, he's pretty solid. I played him in sealed and he performed well.
Yeah. The only way that you would play B over C is if you got 30 points and you want to throw someone on what's his name? I forgot what his name is. Lenny or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're like, oh crap, I need this 30 points, and that'd be the only way. But yeah, you normally just gonna do C.
All right, so if you pull A, B, and C, nobody's playing A. How many people are starting with B and going into C? C also does offer the improved movement, destroys blocking, which is worth noting. Yeah. So you don't even think it's worth doing 70 points and bumping into 100-point Hulk? You should just start at 100-point Hulk?
Oh no, I think there is a world where you do 70, but I think most of the time you're going to go with the 100. I think you just go to 70 points just if you want to get something else on the team.
So you would start at 70. Sorry, no. So you would start at 100 unless there's a specific reason.
Yes, but for a specific reason, there is a world where I would put him on the sideline and start with 70.
Okay.
But 100 is going to be 90% of the time.
Dan, you said you would start with 100?
I don't see the scenario where I guess if there was something where I could squeak in like 30 points, like Miles is saying, maybe, but generally if I'm pulling the 100 or the C side, I'm just going to play the C side.
Okay. Yeah, but so like the world that I'm thinking about is like, you have that Lenny figure that comes up, the common Ant-Man that's 30, because you can give him improved movement blocking and also give him tiny. He has empower. So it's a very niche, but yeah, you're going with 190% of the time for me.
Pete, that's the same for you?
Yeah, I mean, that 30 points, whatever that niche is, has to be pretty exceptional to get me away from the 100 point if that's what I have.
See, I feel like there's enough in there. I would try to make a team that is able to do the 70-point Hulk and make use of those extra 30 points and build into the C. But that's me. Every point matters. And if you can get like a prob or even a perplex in there, it can make a world of difference.
Yeah, that's why I like Ant-Man and stuff, yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that 30 points better come with like your support powers like prob, outwit, or TK or something that you're not getting other ways.
I'm just saying that I feel like I would try to make that work no matter what before I settled on the 100 points. Where you guys, I think, are more on the bus of just, this is probably fine to just have on a team for 100.
Oh, no, I would go for 70. I'm just saying 90% of the time it'd probably end up being 100. But I'd always try and build with the 70 to try and get that. I'm right there with you. He's just so good at 100 points, with a main attacker, and you're splitting it up with 3 teams that you're going to be getting this 12 attack.
That's what I'm saying, though. You have so many options.
Yeah.
I feel like you can.
No, I do like him at 70. I don't like him at 50. I just don't.
So we can all agree, though, that at 50 points, you're no matter what, how many you pull, he's not making the team, right?
No.
Team sealed.
No, because if you're counting on going from 50 to 70 to 100, you probably already lost.
Okay.
So I would say 70 to 100 or 100 straight up.
Okay. All right, and then the fourth character in the set, 002, Valkyrior. Valkyrior? Is that right?
Valkyrier.
That doesn't sound right.
That's what it is. It's like it's Valkyrie and Warrior just put together.
I was going to say, just because it doesn't sound right doesn't make it not right.
That's true.
She
always
absolutely gets a look.
She gets a look. She's making a team for sure. Not one of these should be on the sideline.
That's exactly why you're looking at the Hulk. Because, I realize she's not 30, she's 35, but, that's when you're like, okay, now I got my prop. and
Well,
she's a common, so there's, you could potentially pull multiples.
And how
I
often do you
gotta
have to
look at the
pay it
breakdown for this set.
$295? So that extra 30 points you save on Hulk now is 35 points.
Yep.
Like when you're building a
Yes.
sealed team.
Well-
So
Here's your decision. There's only 7 pieces in this set that start with prob.
right.
Yep.
But 35 points for a flight charge prob with blades. And then if a character was KO'd this turn, Valkyrie. Dan, what is it?
Valkyrie.
And adjacent friendly characters modified defense +2. So if you can work that out, I mean, odds are only one thing's getting KO'd if she's still around and she wasn't the one that gets KO'd. So she's making your team 100% of the time, right?
Yeah, she's flight, blades, prob. That's all good things starting. And she's 4 clicks, so you have to hit her.
Mhm.
Like it's not just oh, here's 3 damage, you're dead. You hit her for 3 if it's pen. Now she's a 19 defend and still prob.
Right. So you also
Yeah,
have,
that's knockback is going to be huge, because if you're going to kill her, you got to do 3 knockback. That's
you don't want to leave
Lucky
her on
there's
the
a chance
19
of
defend.
No, it's if you can only ping her for 3, you're not hitting her.
Right.
That's not worth it.
Yeah, putting her on a 19 defend and still having prob is not where you want her.
Yeah.
All right, damage control worker. Does this guy fit on a team sealed? You're getting 12 boosters.
Nope.
No.
His big thing is, what is it? Just when an opposing effect destroys 1 or more pieces of blocking terrain within range, after resolutions, remove an action token from a friendly character. And you have to power action that unless you have Larry. So,
Lenny.
And it's a 3 range. That's just he doesn't have empower or anything. He
Nope.
brings nothing.
Right.
I
So
know he has
If he had-
shield, but
If he had something else on top of his trait, he'd be fine. But no, not as he is. I mean, he is shield, so I guess there's that. He's shield TA, which is not bad, but
yeah,
I
but
don't
we have
know.
better figures that are around the same cost that
No,
do
no.
more.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's just it's
I don't think he's getting a look especially if you have the other figures in your brick, which I'm thinking you probably will.
yeah. He is he's probably one of the most common pieces you'll pull, him and Hawkeye, though, after opening many bricks. All right. So,
Oh yeah, everybody will have 7 Hawkeyes.
Oh my god.
I'd have to see how many Hawkeyes I have. I have a whole case sitting here that I didn't really sort. So
I probably have 30 Hawkeyes sitting here.
I think in my case I pulled I want to say 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 5.
Yeah.
I had 5 in a case. Yep.
I pulled more.
After we talked about it, I went back and looked.
I pulled more Hawkeyes than I did any letter of absorbing mans all combined.
That's where I was surprised with my cases, because I was only missing 2 of them. I was only missing the Chase and the Titanium.
That's not bad. I still only
One
I
case,
never
yeah.
even got a water out of I think 7 bricks and
That-
playing a bunch
yeah,
of
that's
sealed.
insane.
1 water, 2 fire. All right, let's go
That's
to
crazy.
Los Diablo Soldier. So this guy, at only 25 points, he's giving you 5 clicks, 5 range, 2 bolts, and he's only in cap and force blast, so no movement attack, but he is giving you PD team ability and enhancement.
No, we have an uncommon that can generate those, and so you're going to give that person that pulls the uncommon.
So probably
Those
save
figures.
him for that.
Yeah, I don't
like that idea.
think you pull him or your officer. I don't think either one of them make the team.
So let's say you pull 2 of these guys. Are you generating both? Or if you can make a range team, are you trying to add at least one of them to that team? Enhancement and PD.
Yeah,
If you have a range team, yes. If you have a range heavy team in this set, you
And
give
so,
that
yeah.
to that person.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say but there's not a lot of range heaviness in the set either.
What if you have a team of just Hawkeyes, which is probably possible?
I'd be very nervous. For
I mean
that
that'd be
team.
tough, because you're going to have 1, 2, 3 Hawkeyes.
You'll have at least
and that's
3
75
Hawkeyes and 3 of those, so that's 300 points.
Yeah,
right?
3 Hawkeyes and 3 Los Diablo soldiers. I mean,
Can Hawkeye
Maybe.
carry him?
I don't know. He can't.
No.
you know what? It's in a world you can is if you're somehow able to figure it out with that Ant-Man and makes him tiny, so then Hawkeye can carry him.
Make tiny Los Diablo soldiers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
When
Make
somebody
that-
playing
Those
you
Diablo
says-
soldiers tiny.
Hawkeye starting at 13 for 6, you're feeling a little negative at that point. So, make it happen.
If anybody, so if anyone playing Team Sealed is able to do 3 Hawkeyes, and what is Ant-Man? So what does this end up being?
Ant-Man's 30. Yeah, so
It's
it
like
sucks
225 plus whatever the other points are, so I don't know if that works.
No, yeah, because it's
So
two
yeah,
of
it
them
would
would be
take
50.
it away. All right, if anybody can play 3 Hawkeyes and 3 Los Diablos soldiers, I will give them $50 if that's their team.
Yes.
Give them $50. Like, here you go.
Yes.
I love it. I play it just for the $50.
Yeah. That's, someone listening, I know, has to do it.
If that's their Team Seal team right there, 3 Hawkeyes, 3 Los Diablos soldiers.
I mean, I will admit.
Watch him at least go above 500 because there's just not a ton of
we
range
need
in
to
this
interview
set.
with this player
Yeah.
too afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear how good it did.
So the one thing I'm thinking though is that Hawkeye was actually good in sealed in at H for H. So like he actually, I think he made top 8 or top 4? I can't remember exactly where he landed.
I
But
mean, you're having those. They're gonna be 13 for 5.
yeah,
Or 13 for 6.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well,
I think your sweet spot is 2 Hawkeyes and 2 Los Diablos soldiers, then
yeah,
100
there you
points
go.
is something
I like
else.
That. I like that better.
But
There you go. Yeah, so 200 points. So 2/3 of your team has to be Hawkeyes and him. So yeah, I like that.
Redmond said 3.
no,
Redmond said the whole
for $50,
thing. and it's
it needs to be
$50
3
in my mind.
Hawkeyes and 3
Yeah.
Los Diablos soldiers.
Okay.
All right, then we have
You don't have the Hawkeyes.
Los Diablos officer.
No, this is the. I guess actually, there is a. I mean, because he's giving leadership for 30 points.
Yeah.
So
And PD.
there is that.
His only other
He'll
offensive
get
move, he's got stealth, so again, no move and attack. His big thing is on his first 3 clicks, he's got a power action, which is range 6, improve targeting, hindering, and elevated. Make a range attack instead of normal damage. A hit character is given 2 action tokens, and all characters adjacent to that character are given 1 action token. So I think this is definitely a reason to play him just for 30 points. And when you can pick your own maps, maybe going with something that's more elevated on the right against the right team is worth it. 6 range is not bad too.
No,
I think the only miss with this obviously is not fire the iceberg rocket. It should have been fire the fire rocket.
Yes. So
Oh,
yeah,
man.
for 30 points, probably playing it for leadership, right? At
Oh
the
yeah,
very-
but
at
that's
the
why
very
it's not
least.
good because
yeah. The leadership is good.
it's like an iceberg rocket, so it's not quite there at fire. That's why it's not as good as it could have been. It's fire melts ice.
I was gonna say we can have the I like the contrast though, fire versus ice.
All right, and then there's the Ant-Man that we were talking about before. So again, another 30 point with Empower, and he's tiny. So I think you're trying to put him on any of your hard-hitting teams, right? And just carrying him up. He also has the power action, which is Ant-Man and adjacent friendly characters can use tiny. And they get improved movement.
And
Does not that it just goes through the blocking, right? Yeah, not
Yeah,
destroys.
it doesn't destroy it. Just you straight up move through it.
And not for nothing, he has team player too. So for 30 points, I think this guy's offering definitely plenty.
A lot.
Yeah, he's actually a figure that I think has a chance in modern. I mean, you look at his keywords; they're great.
Mm-hmm.
Warrior, you know. So yeah, he fits on that warrior because I think warrior and brute are really. I think warrior and brute are already there. It just seems to be built. But yeah, no, this Ant-Man's making a team, and I can see people like arguing why they should have Ant-Man over someone else, just because like that's great. The improved movement, ignore blocking, and move through blocking is just great.
Kind of big with the map selections we have right now.
And it's also +1 defense against range attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if you pull 2 at least in a brick too of this guy.
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna be on team, 100%.
All right, and then this is the 006 arcade. So this is the arcade robot.
Yeah, the robots. Yep.
You play him. He's.
For-
I mean, yeah, he's.
25 points.
Yeah, 12 for 3.
Plasticity. And
Yeah, you just throw them out there because
Yeah.
it's all right. So when they die, they got a 50% chance to deal a penetrating damage.
So it's not a goon thing though, but it's similar, right? When arcade is
Yeah.
KO'd by an opponent's attack after resolutions, roll a d6, 1 through 3, give an attacker an action token, 4 through 6, deal the attacker 1 penetrating damage, protected pulse wave. So if he dies, no matter what, he's doing something, and he's plasticity, so he's a decent tie up. I don't say he's a must play, but it's definitely something that
No,
maybe put him on your range team or someone with giant reach to tie somebody up with, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad play at all. I don't think.
No, yeah, because it's good because like especially when our action economy is such a huge thing in sealed, like they have a 50% chance to either take a damage or they're now double tokened. So hopefully they have a leadership that can take away a token from them.
Yeah. And then we don't have any colossals in this set, right? There's just some giants.
Yeah.
So he'd be able to tie down the giants too, and they'd still just need a 6.
Yes.
So yeah, okay. I actually changed my mind on him. Even if you don't pull arcade, this guy could be there.
But I feel like you'll pull arcade.
He's a rare. You might not, right?
I was gonna say, I think I saw him pulled a lot, or I feel like I saw him pulled a lot, but
I only had one in my case, so
I only had one in mine too.
Oh, I had 3, so that's why I thought it was like, okay, well.
Oh, that's weird. Let's get to him in the rares though. All right, then we have Absorbing Man. So this is going to be like a whole thing within itself here. So what's your guys' opinion on Absorbing Man? What ones are you hoping to pull? Where do you rate like the highest one?
So I would want the green, the red, or the flame one. Obviously, the chase one is amazing if you can pull it, and I think the diamond one. I think those 4 are what I want. And obviously, I think you want the main one to swap back to heal.
Yeah, you need A to make the whole thing go.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it with anyone.
I think these all go to the same player, right? Like whatever you get.
Yeah, that was going to be my next point. There's no reason that you would ever split these up, right? No matter if you pull more than one, you're giving them all to the same player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think
yeah.
the biggest...
So yeah, my case came with 2 of the regular Absorbing Man. So like I would, with that, I'd have 1 on the sideline and 1 on the main force, and then because I pulled water, titanium, or water, diamond, fire, and green. I pulled in my case.
Okay.
With the regular ones, which is insane. Obviously, that was a case, not a brick, but yeah, no, fire and gamma are the 2 best. I mean, yeah, the chase is really good because I mean, how many figures do we have like deity? Because obviously no one's gonna be equipped. Let me see the keywords.
Yeah, the only thing in teams.
Oh, yeah. So okay, that's fair. Then he won't. His defensive power won't be as beneficial. Then yeah, that's true.
Yeah, deity and mystical is where you wanna.
There's not a ton of that.
For which one?
It's basically the Asgardians are deity, and then mystical. I don't remember what else was mystical in the set.
There's 15 mystical, and
7
3 deity. So, but I mean, if you're like, okay, I'm gonna be in slot A, and I think that's where we're gonna put the Prime Destroyer. Boom, you throw him on there,
I was gonna say because it's literally Destroyer, Prime, and then the Chase, Thor, and Freya are your 3 deities.
All right, so the regular one, he's really only offering Giant Reach 3, Quake, and Empower. They're all 75 points here, so that's about it.
But you do get you also get a free ball and chain.
It doesn't come with him though. You'd have to pull that. I think does it only come with the chase?
No. I didn't pull the chase. It comes random.
Yeah, it's random.
Yeah, it comes random. I got one and I didn't get the chase.
Yeah, because I got one as well.
I think it comes with the chase, and then it's also random. I'm pretty sure it comes with the chase Absorbing Man too. But it might
I pulled
be
2 in my case, and I didn't have a chase, and they were just in random boosters.
So no matter what, you're probably getting a ball and I would think you're getting a ball and chain, or maybe not in the brick. I don't know.
So you can.
But that can be equipped to anyone.
Yeah, it's not doing that much. It's just, it gives you the giant reach through whatever. But when you swap them out, you could put it on someone else, which is probably worth doing.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, you're able to put it on whoever you want for free. I mean, I know it's only 5 points, but sometimes you're scrambling to like, oh crap, I need this 5 points, so you give it to him for free.
The B
But yeah,
ones. Oh, what's that?
because you can pull one shots, which are very good. So there, yeah, I get that the 5 points matters.
Oh, for sure. The titanium one, the B, this one's just invincible and protected outwit with a 19 defense, and then he does go to a 20 invincible, but it's not protected outwit in the middle. Do you really care about this guy though? Probably not.
No, but I mean, do they all have improved movement, destroy blocking? They do
No.
not.
No,
So
No.
they don't.
that is something that I think that's why you're going to have him as an option.
Yeah, so he's lower on the importance though. This is when a friendly character with an absorbing man trait destroys one or more pieces of blocking terrain after resolutions, you can bring him in. So,
I mean, he has battle fury, so if there's some shape change.
That's worth noting, yeah. All right, yeah, the green one, the gamma one, this is the one I think you want the most because he has outwit and adjacent opposing characters can't use protected or safeguard outwit. That comes into play huge with some of the stuff later on.
Yes.
I mean, generally speaking, I think no matter which ones you pull, you're probably going to play them on your sideline, right? If you pull Absorb Men or if you pull a chunk of them. It's just which ones are... We're trying to go over which ones are like your highest want ones for sealed, right?
Right, and if you're going to bring him in. Like, honestly, if you pull just the regular one and the titanium one, you're probably not going to play the gimmick, right?
Probably not. No, probably not, because that'd be tough to pull off.
Yeah.
Fire and the gamma are just the best. I mean,
and it's really just
seal.
What is so the fire one's really just the super senses for his defense, and then if he uses it and succeeds after resolutions, you deal damage to the attacker.
But he's also a range attacker, so now that's when you can go into the gimmick of range. So now you're like, I don't want to play multiple Hawkeyes. I don't want $50, so you're gonna swap out one of those Hawkeyes for an absorber man.
And yeah, shape change super senses, so pretty good. There's not a ton of precision strike, I don't think, in Battle Fury. Is there a lot of Battle Fury? I don't feel like there is.
There's not a ton of it.
4 people have Battle Fury at the beginning. And Precision Strike is even lower at 4. No, they're both at 4. So pretty low. All right, and then the Diamond one. So Giant Reach 2, Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Absorbed Man uses it, the minimum result is the target's printed damage value. Otherwise, he's just an 11 with Close Combat Expert 2, so 12 for 3 with his close one. Again, if you pull this one, the main one, you're probably not going into the gimmick. What about?
I think you will. I do. I think this figure is also worth having.
How high the print damage values are on a lot of figures.
You're going against Deadpool. Like look at the chases. Hulk. He's not doing penetrating damage. So you have Hulk, you have Juggernaut, you have Destroyer Prime. Abomination. There's so many beat sticks out there that this Absorbing Man can put in work. That's his minimum damage. So his minimum damage is gonna be like 4. That's huge.
Yeah, but then they also have usually the reducers, so you're only giving them 2, and that's if you don't get smashed first with your 4 charge.
Yeah, but he's gonna be able to heal. So that's so they're gonna have to deal more than 5 damage to him for him not to heal all. So if they deal 5, he's only taking 3. You bring in the other Absorbing Man, he's now healed to full.
Okay. I would disagree on it and not play him. Dan?
I'm not saying he's the best. I'm just saying there's something there with him.
Hold on a second.
No. Pete? No.
He's got move and attack, and he's got full dial invincible. There's way worse things you can put on the board for 75 points.
So the average damage is 3, right? So but on the high end, it's like 4 or 5. So I still think that's generally good, as far as like you're just dealing damage. Like that's just your minimum result. So like that's just good for an attack. And he's a 12 attack, which is good.
So the biggest thing that I think that you can compare all these for, like we all agree that green and red is the best. So if you don't pull those, are you playing the diamond one if you get the rest? Team sealed full
we're building 3 teams. I think absolutely if you pull the regular diamond and like Titanium. I still think you're going to play that gimmick.
Yeah.
Like when you swap into the regular one, he's healing for 3. That's huge.
That's hard to keep up with that much healing. I mean, I had trouble keeping up on one of my games with just a character that could heal once a turn, even just the one click. It's like if you don't have Outwit, there's not a ton of Outwit in this set. So if you don't have Outwit and they're continuously healing every turn or every other turn, that's still really big.
Yeah, there's not a ton of penetrating damage too, I don't think.
No, and even him, he has Invincible, so it's like, okay, I'm not doing penetrating damage to him if I, for something like that.
Yeah, with the lack of outwit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then there's also the water one, which is close. Make a close attack targeting all opposing characters within 3 squares in line of fire, regardless of adjacency. Instead of normal damage, hit characters are dealt 2 damage and given an action token. After resolutions, any number of hit characters may be placed adjacent to Absorbing Man. Is that worth his gimmick? He also has the improved movement, elevated, and characters 3 ranged, 3 bolts. Shape change, close combat expert. Again, are you playing this guy if you don't have the green and red? That's the main point.
No, if you only have him in the regular one, no. I think Titanium and Diamond are still worth playing without green and red.
Okay.
His gimmick though is if you have a sideline slot and you already have 4 or the other 3 of the other 5, I think yeah, but it's still I don't know if you're ever really swapping in because he's got no reducer until the end. I know his shape change, but it's like
yeah, but he's a nightmare if he bases you.
So yeah, I actually rate this guy higher than Titanium and Diamond for that reason too, Pete. If you can get in and you make a close attack targeting all opposing characters within 3 squares in line of fire, who cares if you even give him damage? You're also just giving him action tokens. That's huge for pacing. And you can just get in the middle. He's got shape change and combat reflexes. I like this guy way better than Diamond and Titanium.
And anybody that he hits is now adjacent to him, so now they're swinging on 20s or 19s for most of the dial until he gets impervious and prob.
That's why. I still like him for the gimmick, but that's the reason why I like Titanium and Diamond is just because the pin, reduced pin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you hit him for 5. He's...
less good.
And then again, I guess maybe you want him to hit for 5 because now he's got prob, so now you're like, yay. So, yeah.
All right, and then the chase, you're obviously playing the chase if you get him. Even, let's say you get none of the other guys at all. Are you still just playing him at 75 points? Probably. Perplex, 12 attack.
I think so, because every brick is going to have, at least I've seen it, is going to have the regular Absorbing Man. Yeah, and that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got if you hit someone, then people next to him take 2 damage. So deal 2 damage to each opposing character, then 2 squares. Yeah, you're absolutely playing this, dude.
Yeah, and it's within 2 squares, not line of fire. So they can be it's just within 2 squares.
And I want to say this guy comes with Red Harpy and Captain America chase, right? Frequently, at least.
I think so. Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's a pretty good team.
So I'm gonna say that's the team that wins right there.
I was gonna say you're gonna want to stretch that brick out though. You're not gonna give that all to one person.
Oh no, each person gets one of those things.
Yeah. No. It was just Pete said that makes a pretty good team. Like, yeah, but then what are you giving your teammates?
I thought you meant like the team itself consisting of the 3 players.
The teammates are gonna each get $50 for revenue because they're each running 3 Hawkeyes and 3 of the soldiers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's
I don't know the distribution that well in this set, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I did actually mean like you play everybody on 1 that way, but I'm assuming there's something else in the brick that's playing. But yeah, if you pull that brick that has that in it, that's a great team. Everybody gets 1 amazing piece.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to Craven. For 45 points, he's giving you Outwits, and I don't like him. Anyone else want to add to that?
No. I don't like this Craven.
Okay.
That would be my only thought. If you have the point, he's better than his B side because he has Outwit top dial. That is it.
Yeah, but I actually like his B side at 125 as an attacker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's so overcosted at 125.
I did the one sealed event that I did when I did play him. He put in work and won it for me. Like, it was ridiculous at how good this piece actually played. He plays way better than he looks.
So there's 8 pieces with Outwit, top dial, and there's 7 pieces of power cosmic. So outwit is still big.
Yeah. No, yeah, the A side will be played because of the outwit, but I like the B side as an attacker.
But
Even
I
though
think
he
there's only
doesn't.
like 2 or 3 in
I
the
don't think
common
he's
or uncommon
worth.
spot.
So wait, I was gonna go to B, but so let's go back to A for just a second. He's basically 45-point outwit. This is a brick. Are you putting him on any team for 45 points? I would say no.
Yeah, if you have the gamma absorbing man.
Well, let's say no gamma absorbing man.
Yeah. It's that's where it's tough. Is like you're just putting him on there for the outwit.
I would say no.
I like him. I like him. If you don't have pile driver, I would say that he's worth a look because outwit is big. So.
Okay, Pete.
I'd have to see what the other outwits are, but at least you have an
Your
option
other-
here.
your
He's
other
still
outwit
6
is-
clicks for 45 points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your other outwit is the Seaside Taskmaster, and in the lower rarity, or pile driver. So it's like it's one or the other.
Thunderball. That's the
Or
one
sorry,
you want.
Thunderball. My bad. Thunderball.
Yeah, that's the one you want.
45
Thunderball
points
gets
for a
played
10
by
attack
someone.
though.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying it's great. It's just he's cheap and he's outwit. So.
I just think it changes when you're doing team sealed versus like pre-releases and you have 2 boosters. Like 2 boosters, yeah, maybe.
Okay, but look at him this way. You play him with Ant-Man. Ant-Man's tiny, so he can be carried with him power. He also has team player, so now he can copy Sinister Syndicate. So now you're an 11 for 4.
For 75 points. I just think there's better things to go in for 75 points. So we can keep going. It's worth exactly. Outwit is very important in sealed, but it's how many points do you want to dedicate to it? Because I don't feel like this guy offers anything but outwit on his first 2 clicks, mind you, for 45 points.
Yeah, I don't know what the other 7 are that have outwit, but they probably are better options, right?
Probably. All right, so B side at 125 again. His trait's not great.
No.
Modify combat values.
He just plays better than he looks.
So
that's the only reason why.
At 125, a team sealed at 125, you would consider him as your main attacker on a team?
Yeah, like I said, when I played him in my sealed, granted I was only limited to 2 boosters, but still, like after seeing him in play, he played better than I thought he would, and like he was just a minute throughout the. Yeah, I mean, you have an opportunity to you can hypersonic 8 and get an extra 2 reach. Now you're 13 for 4, from range, or you can go in with the blades.
I think he's amazing for
ideal.
A BR and a potential for supercharged, but I am going to say no on team sealed.
I'm just saying that he just surprised me. There's still. I'm not saying I'm going to play him over other figures.
Sure.
Just saying he's. I mean, you look at him in the 100-point Hulk. Of course, you can go Hulk, but he does have his own merits.
Okay.
He plays better than he looks.
Dan, where are you at?
I don't like him. I did play him once. I just did not like him. He's too easy to just hit off that hypersonic click, and then he usually just gets hit to stealth. Yes, you get perplex, but I wouldn't be paying 70 points or 60 points for perplex with no movement attack.
So you played him at 125 then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's just like maybe you can get the one hit off, but he's a glass cannon. Like he just gets hit too.
Mm-hmm. Pete, where are you at with Craven, the B side?
No, 125 is too much. He's top dial interesting, and then he's just not. There's not enough there.
All right, so Miles, you're on potentially at 125. We can all say no to low though, right? At 60 points, you're not doing that for stealth and perplex 11 attack.
I'm not.
I would not.
And team sealed, no.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
All right, and then Speedball. I'm going to say no on Speedball. He's 50-point prob. I've seen him play it a few times, and I don't like him. He seems very clunky and just does not work.
If you have him with Lenny, I think that there is a chance.
Just because then he can free choose to?
Yeah.
Instead of
and
power?
Power choose to. Mm-hmm. So then now you can move 4 squares for free, get the knockback, and then you can just, if you want to, you can do a power and move him again or whatever, yeah. Because you can do that twice.
Yeah. He 50 points for prob. He's got what, super senses, toughness, and Spider-Man TA, so he's a little bit frustrating to try to hit, I guess. That's
Yeah,
only
so
on
like
1,
what
3,
you
and
can do
5.
too is like you would do the free move 4 squares, knock back an adjacent opposing character, you know, and then you can power move 4 squares, and he can use invincible until your next turn. So then now you can move him back. He gets invincible, and then he's also set up for your prob. So he essentially gets free Force Blast.
So why are you saying that he can do things twice?
Because you can take
With
the
Lenny.
You
action
can
as free
activate it
with
as
Lenny.
free, and then you can activate it as power.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you have him with Lenny, I realize it's 80 points, but Lenny is so good that it's worth it. Like you pretty much, it's almost like a 4 movement charge to free Force Blast, and then you move him back again. You know, and then you have props. So like you could do that free Force Blast, and
Yeah.
Why would you not just attack? Because you have Force Blast on dial, so then you could just knock him away anyway.
Mm-hmm.
well, I get that, but I'm just saying that you have other options too. Like if you want to just knock someone back, like let's say someone's like on their last click or whatever, you just knock them back for free, and then you can get in place.
So we still haven't talked about Lenny. Why don't we just go over Lenny real quick, and then we'll come back to Speedball, okay?
Yeah.
So he's 30 points. He's in power leadership. So this is definitely a piece that you're going to be playing for those two reasons right there already. The empower and leadership, and only 30 points. Shield team ability, and then his big thing is friendly characters may activate the damage control traits as free instead of a power. So free, once per game, generate a fluffy dog bystander. That thing is trash, right?
It's got shield tier.
Has
Yeah,
shield
but so
TA.
does he.
Yeah.
So he dies and
Yeah.
he's still around.
Double.
I guess
I mean,
you
30
can
points,
do two.
30 points for double shield is good.
I guess. Well, I mean, we're playing Lenny, right? But I mean, as far as the Pog itself, it's a 5 sidestep, 9 precision strike, 17 combat reflexes, 1 damage.
It is one of the only figures in the set with precision strike, which you mentioned, but
He's fine.
I'm just trying to get you
So
relevant.
the reason why I was saying that if you activate Speedball twice is because if you put him in sometimes when you put him in a certain position, they'll be able to retaliate. Whereas if you just knock them back, like if you have a range attacker, and then you can move him out of line of fire for him to get retaliated against. Obviously, you're going to not do that every time, but it gives Speedball options with Lenny.
And if you don't want to, I know there's a lot of reducers in this set, but if you are going against somebody, you can always run up there, knock them back, and then knock them back again, and just guarantee do 2 damage if they're against blocking terrain.
Yep.
Instead of having to worry about the attack. So I mean, if you can get him on a team with Lenny, I guess maybe. I still am not a huge fan of him. But that would be the only
That's
way.
Why prob is just one of those things.
I know, but 50-point prob for there's just so much else in the set. I don't know. I can maybe see a team with him and Lenny, but that's it. I would not play him if you do not have him on the same team as Lenny.
No, you don't play him without Lenny.
Pete, would you play Speedball for 50 points without Lenny?
No, I'd play him with Lenny. But, I mean, he's so much better with Lenny at 80 points. But you do get 4 through 6 senses, you get toughness, top dial, you can choose invincible. And he's kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt to deal with. But with Lenny, he's just way better.
Dan, Speedball with Lenny, or not even with Lenny?
With Lenny, sure, yeah. Because I mean, again, he's hard to deal with is the biggest thing, and prob is good. He also has like good movement, which we don't have a lot of, or it feels like just generally. I mean, he's like elevated over outdoor blocking, right, and then through characters.
Right. Okay. So as far as agreeing, we can all say varying degrees of yes with Lenny and definitely not without Lenny, correct?
Yeah, I wouldn't play him without Lenny. Like even though the prob is limited in this set, I don't think it's worth it.
All right, let's go Excavator. So he, again, this guy's only 30 points for 6 clicks.
Play him. I'm sorry, you play him.
Just because he's got a cool shovel?
Well, so first off, it is a nod to the Mystery Men movie.
Right.
But no, that dial for 30 points is insane.
Yeah.
Like this is a great tie-up piece. Like 6 clicks starts with invulnerability and toughness. Like they're gonna have to deal with him.
Yeah, I don't think he's a must play, but he's definitely.
Oh, he's making a team. He's making a team.
I don't think he's definitely making a team. I'm not going to fault somebody that they're like, I have 30 points and this is what I put on there. Because for 30 points, that's pretty crazy as far as how much damage you have to sink into him to get those 30 points.
Yeah, that's the nutty part. And then
that's the one part right there. Yeah, you just you're like, yeah, go ahead. Okay, go. You sunk an entire turn and he's on his last click. Okay.
I was gonna say the hilarious thing is his last clicks are good. They're 9 for 4. Yes, it's a 9 attack, but like it's still 4 damage. And there's enough Masters of Evil in this set that you could potentially be bringing their defenses down.
All right. So wait, who's saying he's a must play?
I am.
Okay.
I'm saying he's gonna make one of the 3 teams.
Okay. Dan?
No, he's not a must play. He's a good 30 points, but he's not a must play.
Okay. Same. Pete?
You guys are killing Miles. His hypothesis is it's making one of 3 teams. I agree with that. Is he a must play? No, but that 30 points is making a team somewhere.
All right. He's a great 30 points, but I don't think that this needs to be added to the team because of it. But I'm not going to follow anyone.
You can just quote Mystery Man the whole time.
That's not a reason to put someone on your team is to quote Mystery Man.
It is. It is, yeah. Absolutely is.
All right.
I shovel well. I shovel very well. He did that when his wife threatened to divorce him.
Yes, the shoveler. We played the clip for our set review. It was great.
Yes.
All right. So first of the what is this? The Wrecking Crew. So Thunderball, 60 points. He offers Outwit and Perplex, friendly characters with the Wrecking Crew. Keyword can use stealth. Second part's probably not going to be that big, but I guess if you can play them on a team and team sealed, maybe.
I think he's almost a must play for at least a team. I mean he's giving you Perplex and Outwit, which is huge.
Yeah, I played him on a team sealed team.
Have we found a piece yet that Miles isn't must playing?
No,
it's good.
It's the Wrecking Crew. I mean now you play them with if you have the Absorbing Man. Now Absorbing Man all has stealth. There's not a lot of if any improved targeting hindering.
I think if you can get the Wrecking Crew together, that's a team in team sealed. That's a hard team to deal with in this set if you can get most of them. But you have to have him on that team because of the stealth.
Well, the biggest thing is that stealth isn't huge in this set because a lot of it's going to be close combat. So it's not as important as other sets. Still nice. But the Outwit, Perplex, and the fact that he has the improved movement through blocking and Mashes of Evil Team A. I played this guy in, I think it was our sealed events or pre-release. I don't remember. But I liked him a lot, actually.
No, he's great. He's quite good. So
I would say this guy does for sure make a team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Miles, is this guy on your must play list like everyone else except for?
Oh yeah.
Jokingly
for sure. The next figure is actually my first must play gonna make a team easily. The next figure is just bonkers. But I think Thunderball will make a team.
Well, before we go to Pile Driver, Pete, what do you think about Thunderball?
Outwit and Perplex is great. Giving himself stealth and other people's stealth is great. I think this guy gets played more than he doesn't.
Must play or not must play? Team sealed.
On a Wrecking Crew team, must play. But on a non-Wrecking Crew team, I think he still gets looks because you do have Outwit and Perplex top tile.
So you're slightly less high on him then?
Well, this dude's way better than the Craven for Outwit.
Right, yeah.
Way better.
Yeah. So we've already established that of the 8 Outwits, here's one better than Craven, so yes.
All right, still Wrecking Crew. This is Pile Driver. Miles, what do you like about this guy so much?
Well, I teamed up with a figure that's further up. You can get 2 actions, which is just insane. With 2 attacks, because he can take close and range terrain actions as free, and since they're separate actions, he can take both for free.
He can do a lot, though, right? Because you can throw stuff, you can destroy stuff, you can do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what is this? He's got
And you can get
the traded super strength. How many things is he able to do then if he's adjacent to things? So even if it's printed, he can close and range destroy just squares of blocking, right? Without even moving. Oh no, he's got 0 range.
Yeah, he has 0 range, but yeah, the range terrain. So there's a figure coming up that whenever figure with the Wrecking Crew move, they may generate and hold a light object. So like you can sidestep, generate that object, take the range terrain action for free, and then full move. And since he moved again, he'll be able to pick up another one, and now he'll be able to do a close for free.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting two attacks with him.
Okay. And also, yeah, super strength and the improved movement through blocking. So 50 points, you would say must play for him.
I think so. I think he's just a great attacker. You're able to attack twice. He also has Empower. His attack does suck, but he has a Massive Evil, so there's ways around that. With the Massive Evil surrounding people, or Perplex, which Thunderball has.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure everyone has already been familiarized with Destroyer Prime. All of the Wrecking Crew, I think all of them, right? Yeah, have Asgardian, so there's a reason that you might put him on your sideline. Pile Driver does give give him
he's
flurry.
One of the best.
Yeah.
Flurry. Yep.
So let's say you pull Destroyer Prime. Do you give this guy to him on the sideline, or
he gets flurry for free.
Okay, so
absolutely,
that's what I'm saying though. So you only pulled one of them in your brick, and you pulled Destroyer Prime. Are you ever going to put him on a force, or are you putting him on the sideline for Destroyer?
No, you're.
I think it all depends on what else you pulled, and I think that if you have another figure with flurry, I think that
like if you pull Thori, you're gonna want to play Thori. So you're gonna want to have someone play Thori because he's just an amazing figure. Like he's probably the best common out of the commons.
At 50 or 30,
either point line doesn't. They're both great.
He's good at both. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's tough. I think that you got to look and see do you really need that, or is it better to have someone with phasing, so then you can just free move your full phasing and good luck. I just killed your half your team. Good luck retaliating. I moved my full speed.
No, I definitely like him, and that's worth noting that he has the potential to do that stuff.
Yeah.
How far down is? I was unaware about the piece that generates stuff, though. I forgot about that. Who's that?
Bulldozer.
So he's a little bit further down. Okay, so let's go to Wrecker then.
I know this is.
I was gonna say
this is my first.
I remember him being super great. So yeah, 85 points. He's giving you leadership and Quake and super strength, improved movement through blocking. And then his unique modifier trait is at the beginning of your turn, you may modify Wrecker's combat values -1 until your next turn. If you do, other friendly characters with the Wrecking Crew keyword modify their combat values +1 until your next turn. So let's say you're able to run an entire Wrecking Crew, or majority of all the guys we've mentioned and Bulldozer later. Are you then playing this guy?
That's where it's tough. Is I just think the 85 points is where it gets. I mean, I like what he does. Pile Driver will now be an 11 for 4, 12 for 4 if you want with Thunderball. But it's tough with him being 85 points because he goes down pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's 85 points that you're keeping in the back. You're not even fighting with him.
Yeah, and that's just that just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
No, I don't like this guy.
I mean, he does have probably one of the greatest names ever for a comic villain, but
I think it would be a fun team to play on your local, but I don't think you're trying to make this team work for a competitive sealed event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The problem, he's 6 clicks for 85 points. He's a lot of points. I feel like he still just goes down. Yes, he's your leadership. He does also go through blocking. The unique modifier is good, but you just dropping his stats down 1 makes him just so much easier to hit too.
Yeah. And I mean, not for nothing, he's 6 clicks, and so is Excavator for 55 points less points.
Mm-hmm.
If you pull them all, somebody could play it and your team sealed. I mean, there's worse things to do. They're doing a ton of stuff together.
Yeah, that's true.
By himself, absolutely not.
I was gonna say definitely not by himself. No.
Yeah, the -1 to his stats just hurts because he's gonna be sitting in the back, and now he's gonna be a 17 defense.
Yeah, the only thing is that everyone else, yeah, even Thunderball's a 17, so you're only making, and Pile Driver, so you're only making them 18s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
not
Excavator an 18, yeah, so the other guys are still
Not
getting
everybody's
wrecked.
going to get great bricks, so something that may hit the table for somebody.
Well, it's worth noting that the only way that you're playing Wrecker is if you can get a wrecking crew, right? Team. Otherwise,
Or you're
you're
a
not
big
playing.
fan of
Yeah.
Dirk
Yeah.
Garthwaite, one or the other.
Yeah.
You drove to Origins. You said, if I pull Dirk, I'm playing Dirk.
Okay. All right, going to the one that I have 30 of, Hawkeye. I actually like this guy. So 75 points, improved targeting, elevated and hindering. This is one of the best range attackers in the set, right?
I think so, yeah. And if you want $50, play 3 of them. So it is a must play if you want $50.
True.
I don't think that's really that bad of a bet. Like, honestly.
I don't either. Because especially because you're
You
choosing
have-
your maps. Like he ignores.
Well, do you
hindering
have leadership on that
elevated.
team at all, or no?
Nope.
No, you
You're
don't
only
need
getting.
You have 3
So you're
Hawkeyes.
moving up one soldier and then trying to hit with 2 Hawkeyes running,
Mm-hmm.
and then hope you survive the next volley. There's worse things to do.
Well, the other thing
I've
with
certainly
that
had worse
bet,
sealed teams.
the other thing with that bet is your other 2 teammates have to be like, yeah, all right, go ahead, do that. So
Yeah,
there's
they
a
have to
couple of
agree.
hurdles.
That's a whole nother set of problems you got to solve.
But you can pick your map, right? So you're obviously going to pack an elevated map for him. He also sees through the hindering, but a 6 range that does that, and if it's someone that's on lower elevation, their defense goes down by 1, and he's a 13 for 4 with precision strike. 75 points is a ton of points, but he was really good in the games that I played.
And again,
And he has Avengers TA.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's a 13 essentially.
Yeah.
And then you have PD
14.
with the
Sorry,
the
14.
soldiers. So yeah, I mean there's a chance they can be, minus
It's
3
not a
their
hard
defense.
conversation. If I was playing and I said, "Listen, I get $50 of Redmond's hard-earned money. This is what I'm playing. You guys can have
They
everything
should,
else."
their partners should be all about it because that just means the other 2 teams are going to be loaded,
Yeah.
and
We'll
someone's going to get caught off guard against that Hawkeye team.
We'll see how it plays
And you're
out.
$50 up for the day.
Yep. All right, let's go to. Oh, actually, sorry. So Hawkeye is how many people for only team sealed? We're talking not about your preference if you pull them in like a pre-release or anything.
I think at least one. I mean, I think you really look at him for at least one team. I mean,
You try to make a range
elevated.
team, right? And you put them on the team.
Yeah. Well, even if he's your only range attacker,
Mhm.
like he'll be able to complement your close attack.
Right.
He's a really important piece in this set because of the lack of range attackers, and he's a really good range attacker. Honestly.
Yeah.
14 for 4 is really good.
Dan, thumbs up or down on Hawkeye?
Thumbs up.
All right. So yeah, BR, you're not mad about him being a piece that you pull for your BR supercharged sealed. That's the only thing I think it gets a little bit cloudy. All right, Thori.
You're playing him.
Always.
Somebody's playing him.
And if you can
Yeah.
make him fit at 50 or 30.
That's a must play right there.
The lower point dial is interesting because you're getting exploit, and that's not very common.
No. And you can still be an 11 or 12 attack depending too, because you have Avengers team ability, and you can, if you have a master and they've hit, you go up another attack. So.
And yeah, Masters of Evil team ability. So this guy, every Thori that you pull should be on a team, and there's a good chance that you pull multiples of this guy. And I think there's a reason to do either point value. Anyone want to say anything bad about Thori? That's what I thought.
No.
All right, going to Lenny.
Nope.
We
talked
already
about
covered
Lenny,
him,
but
yeah,
he's
completely.
getting played.
And all right, so first uncommon is Captain America. I do not like him. 75 points. He does not have leadership, does not have super strength. He can make an extra attack, but 19, no reducer, so just 19 defend.
Defend. Yeah.
I say that he does not get played. Does anybody want to counter that?
No. When you're building from a brick, you're playing excavator. I think you're playing Dirk over him too.
Yeah.
No.
Playing 2 excavators over this guy.
No, he's still better than Dirk.
Depending on the team, maybe, but I'm not building with this guy for sure. He's sitting in my booster.
If it was 2 boosters sealed, I would say he's better, but not if you're getting a brick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's why I say if you're getting a brick, yeah, no. If you get 2 boosters,
All right, let's go to
I'm good.
let's go to Desir. So she's got Mystics. Again, this is every one that you pull, you're playing this one. 30 points, ignores characters, hypersonic blades, 2 damage and power, super senses.
And then if you're a destroyer pilot, you're definitely playing her as one of your pilots because steel energy plus CCE is good.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I would hate to not add her to my one of my teams, but yeah, if you have Destroyer Prime, getting Steel Energy and Close Combat Expert,
yeah,
that's
that's
huge.
It's like, sorry, this is going to destroy your prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need survivability with that piece.
That's my thought is the survivability.
Yep. So I think, does anyone else disagree with that? She makes a team 100% of the time unless someone has Destroyer Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then she's still
She
making a
makes
team.
Yeah,
Well, she's
she's
making
all
a
getting played.
sideline, right? Yeah, but you're main forcing her otherwise. So then, what is this? Brune, also Mystics, 50 points. This is a leadership for 50 points, and then her and friendly characters named Desir increase their single d6 rolls by +1. Both, I will say though that both of these were really hard to pull. I ended up with, I think, 2 Brunes and 5 Desirs with everything that we did, all the bricks we played, or opened, and all the sealed that we played. So they're pretty rare, is what I came across. What did you guys come across when you were playing them?
Yeah, I
Or
think I
opening?
had 2 in my case, but I had a weird case. But I think this is the same thing. Like if you want with Desir, you're like, no, I want her on my team. I think that if you have someone with playing Destroyer Prime, I think if you pull this, you're like, okay, I'll take this Brune. Because she's giving you exploit and steel energy.
On the, so
And
same
flurry
thing.
as well.
So if you play,
I think because she also has flurry. So if you're pulling her, this is definitely going to be a pilot.
that's actually a good
Or
point. So
Destroyer
let's say you pull Desir and Brune and Destroyer Prime. Do you just give Brune to Destroyer Prime and then main force Desir?
Yes.
Unless you
Yeah.
need the leadership.
Or well, you can't make the leadership work anyway unless you're talking like Brune go on a different team for leadership. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just in general, if you needed leadership on another team, she's there.
I
At
still
50
think
points.
that, no. I think if you pull this piece and Destroyer Prime, I think her with Destroyer Prime is just so much better because you're getting a flurry for free if you want, and then you're getting exploit, which penetrating damage is hard to find, and steel energy. And so now when you do the free, you're now doing free flurry penetrating.
And that's one team that won't need the leadership anyway.
Nope.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it just makes that Destroyer Prime that much more deadly because you're already hypersonicking in to do an attack. And then now you're like, all right, I got this. Now you're going to get 2 more attacks. Penetrating.
Yeah. And if you, by chance, don't pull Destroyer Prime and can play Brune and Desir, you're playing them together, and that's great.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's honestly they're hard to deal with when they're together too.
All right, Steve Rogers, 25 points. This guy's not giving you leadership. The big thing with him, so in Constructed, he's got something cool where you can actually turn him into a Captain America of 60 points or less. The only one in this set, though, is that one that we talked about, and he's 75 points, so you can't even do it with him.
There's also a Chase, and the Chase is 65. So, yeah, you can't even turn into him either.
Yep.
I'd say not worth it then.
Yeah.
I still think he is. I mean, he's giving you shield. If you have Team
he's
Player,
giving you-
Avengers, Perplex.
He's giving you Shield, Avengers, and Perplex. That's good. That's 3. What's that? 3 stat mods right there for 25 points.
Yeah.
That's good.
So 25
But if you
points.
pull the B side of him, I think that you're going to leave him on the sideline or off the sideline and generate him.
Yeah.
I think the next piece is actually worth playing and just bringing him in.
So I think
If you could.
you
Maybe you can pull him.
if you get Steve Rogers, you put him on the side, and if you have 25 points and there's nothing else going on, then he's the easy fit in there for Perplex, but he's definitely not a must play.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, General Ross. This is the one that's generating all the soldiers I think that we talked about earlier. So it's 25 points or less.
Yeah.
So he's leadership.
He's a must play.
Yeah. So
Must-
he's
yeah.
leadership, and then when he uses it and succeeds after resolutions, he may generate a non-unique, non-prime character with a soldier keyword of 25 points or less on their starting click. They're generated from outside the game, which then that means too, if they get KO'd, let's say you only have one of these guys, they get KO'd, you can pull them from your KO area and generate them again as long as you have that noted that they're in the KO area.
Yes.
But 40 points is TK, enhancement, shield TA, leadership, and then generating soldiers outside of the game. So yeah, he should be making one of your teams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no reason not. I mean, the TK and leadership is good enough, and now you're throwing into the empower with shields. So now if you want, someone can be bumped up twice for their damage. He's also generating you pieces like Steve Rogers or the soldiers that you need.
Yeah,
He
well
gets
worth
his
it.
point value.
And he can stay alive with
There's
the
only
mastermind, the stuff he generates.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only 5 pieces with TK, so he's getting played.
Yeah. All right, then we have Black Ant. So this guy is Mastermind Stealth. When one or more adjacent friendly characters take damage from an opposing effect, after resolutions you may heal him one click. It's not great. And then he is a tiny piece so you can carry him. Empower, free until your next turn. Black Ant has standard size and close combat. So 50 points. Where are you guys with him?
I mean, I think we all know how, what we all feel about Black Ant. This is
He's
the podcast
sneaky.
I think, yeah.
He's sneaky. He's better than you think he is. He plays way better than, once you get it figured out, he's not a bad attacker because he can choose to go regular size and close combat expert. 11 for 4. He's got charge. You can carry him around for the empower. He can mastermind. He's got stealth. He's pretty good piece, honestly.
I'd rank him kind of like Steve Rogers, where I'm not super excited I pulled him, but I'm going to put him off to the side. And if he ends up fitting on a team, he fits on a team. But 50 points for empower you can carry is what I'm looking at. And I'm not a huge fan of that.
Well, he's also
there's
a wild card, so you can copy something like, again, Masters of Evil team ability. So if you're carrying him up, you can set him next to somebody, and then again he's dropping their defense down 1-2.
Yeah, so there's a chance where he can make a team, but I'm putting him off to the side, and if it makes sense later, but he's
he
one
will
of the
lead the
last
booster.
pieces that I would think
Yeah,
about
He'll
adding.
lead the booster.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Toad. So I like him as a tie-up piece for 45 points. He's got leap climb. He's got something that's really similar to the wall crawler. It's actually identical to it. It's just called something different, right? Terrible Toad King.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing.
So you can just place him for free within 4 squares as long as it's a different elevation. He has plasticity, and then once per turn, when an adjacent opposing character moves or is placed after resolutions, you may place Toad adjacent to that character. So charge, poison, empower, and combat reflexes on the top, and 6 clicks of health. So I think this guy is definitely higher up on the must play, just to kind of tie up people. He's my favorite tie up piece in the set.
Yeah, no, I love Toad as a character. I'm not a huge fan of the sculpt, but I love just Toad himself, and I mean, yeah, his reach. You're talking you can TK him up. He pretty much gets full map. You TK him up 4. You're gonna place him 4, and then he charges. So he's getting almost full map TK.
Yeah, he's great. He's a great tie up piece. So
He's
I would
bump up his damage a little bit, but yeah, but he's just meant to be a tie up piece. You're not going to go after him. That's going to harass us.
Yeah, and I mean the set itself is more close combat, so you can think about how you're placing him.
I like him. I think that he definitely makes team.
Yeah. Dan, where are you at with Toad?
I don't like him as much, but I don't think he's necessarily bad either.
Where do you rank him on, putting him on a team sealed team?
He's probably going to the side, and then I'll come back around to him if I have the points.
Pete, where are you with him?
No, I like him a lot in this set, especially because of the tie-up ability, and you don't really want to attack him, but you can't just not attack him either. Poison's always really, really good. So I think he gets played absolutely. And that once per turn an adjacent opposing character moves or is placed, he's just going with him.
Yeah, super annoying.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I just looked and 8 people have poison, which sounds really high for me in this set.
Starting? Really?
Starting, yeah. That sounds surprising. I was gonna say there's only probably like 3 people that had it.
Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, I see a few that do. I see 4. That's
I was gonna say quicksand, hazmat, and toad right off the rip there.
yeah. There's 2 hazmats. So yeah.
What about Scarlet Witch for 60 points? Mystics
Must play. She's
Must
making
play?
a team.
No,
She's got barrier and prob.
I.
And
put
then-
but
barrier-
everybody has super strength and bust through the barrier. It
was
doesn't
gonna
even
say
care
barrier
about
I
it.
also like that trait. I like that trait where you're critically hitting on attack rolls of 10 to 12.
All right, so how about
Only for
this?
I don't know.
60 points. You make a
I like
barrier,
her.
and then
I do.
somebody
I mean,
comes
yeah.
in, charges with super strength, and bashes it on their
I'm-
on your team.
I like it with the prob and the barrier. Yeah, I like it. And
As a
the
person
critically
who played this piece, she was more of a detriment than a help, to be honest. And the 10 through 12 did not come in as handy as you'd think it would.
And you got to
Well,
actually
better.
play her with Magneto Chase too, didn't you?
Exactly, yes. And I think I rolled a 10 once.
Yeah,
Or 10 or higher. actually.
Yeah, I am not a fan of her. So she had, because you get it if they have it, so you can't wild card Brotherhood,
No,
but you
but
can
it's
be
adjacent.
adjacent. Yeah. And then the barrier is usually really good, but everyone's just not caring about it for the most part. It's 60-point prob.
You can also use that to your advantage too with how many characters you have with super strength.
Yeah, that's true. And then grab like an end one or something, run around. But 60 points. I'm probably not playing her. 60 points is really hard to fit on a team if you aren't building around it.
She just makes me like Speedball at 50 for prob better.
That doesn't say much for Scarlet Witch then.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like her, but yeah, I mean, if Dan's tester and whatnot, and it doesn't work out as well, then the improved movement blocking doesn't really help. So yeah, barrier's more of a detriment. But yeah, I mean, she does bring you prob. But yeah, that's I don't know. I still think she'll make one of the 3 prob. I just think prob is so needed because you're like, oh, I don't need prob.
This is just a weird
I
set
could-
for the characters that have it. It's
Yeah.
almost like they aren't worth the prob, a lot of them, except for
I was going to say,
who's that
Valkyrier's fine
main
at
one?
35.
Yes, that one. That's the one that you play for it for sure. But the rest of them, it's
Yeah.
really hard to make an argument to play him for the prob. And prob is one of the best powers to have in sealed. All right, Quicksilver, 60 points, hypersonic, 3 damage, ignores characters. Other friendly characters that are adjacent or have Brotherhood modify attack +1. I don't see it. He just kind of goes down, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 'cause the shape change does help. Late dial prob helps with no reducer.
Yeah, you're.
I mean, I do like that he
easily-
does. Friendly characters do benefit from being adjacent. Brotherhood, you're not really not going to come into play too much. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but
if
it's
you had
still
the-
you run in with him first, and then you have someone else attack, and then there'll be a +1 attack.
that's something you
but-
can do, but I just don't see it being worth it.
Yeah, it's going to have to be the synergy of what you pull.
The other thing is, if he had like double rollouts top dial, he'd be much more appealing. But he only the one and then the other.
Yep,
Yeah.
swap senses and willpower.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Zax. So he is a giant, 100 points or 60 points. His big thing is poison. He does have the weakness at the end of your turn. If Zax occupies water terrain, you deal him 1 unavoidable damage. So it's probably worth packing the, what is that, Atlantis map, in case you run across one of them.
Yeah,
the whole
no,
map
that's
of
yeah,
the water.
And
absolutely.
he just kind of eventually kills himself.
And with that reason, I just it's tough for me even at 60. I just
To want to play
it's
him,
tough
yeah.
because if you lose map roll and they put you on that map, he's done. Like
Yep. He's just gonna die.
Yeah.
like I guess you can destroy some of the blocking and just stay there, but okay, then he's going to get pinged.
Right.
And then you're forced to not be able to move. Then too is the biggest thing.
I think that's exactly why. It's because you have to. All it takes is if you literally lose, there's no reason to build with him.
It's a little risky when you're playing it in Team Sealed. I got to play him in Release, and I actually played him at 100 points and really liked him. The Pulse Wave was pretty nice, and then just having the Perplex, being a giant, I would. I think I had another perplex too, so I would make him a 21 right out of the gate, and it was obviously then really hard to hit him. I'd perplex down his pulse wave sometimes if it meant that I would not hit like the range on it. If it meant I could miss one of my own characters. So I actually did like him quite a bit at 100, but again, you're talking limited to boosters versus a whole thing. So I'm not sure if you can make a whole brick. So I'm not sure if you can make the argument anymore to play him for the reason we said about the water and you just have a whole brick. So I'm not sure if he holds his weight anymore then.
Yeah. This is a guy that goes into your pile of brutes. Somebody's going to play a brute team because brute has such great support in the set. So he may get a look on a brute team, but other than that, probably not.
We're all agreeing though that you're not going to build a team around him, right? At 100.
No.
So he's not making any team at 100.
Would
Would
map
you?
He destroys them, and it's gonna be my luck if I play him that I'm gonna lose map roll or win map roll, and for some reason say go first, and they're gonna put that map, and I'm really.
Now, at 60 points, though, would you at least put him on the side and maybe add him to a team, though? You're not completely writing him off at 60, right?
No,
We're
no. I
writing
mean, he
him
does
off at
do
100.
he does have the. He can be TK'd. He does have the pulse wave.
Right.
So I mean.
So potential at 60, but no at 100. Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Quicksand. So she is another one of the brutes. Flurry. Other friendly characters with the brute keyword can use ESD. And 100 points or 60 points. If you can get a brute team, she is an auto include on that. If you cannot, I don't think she's worth it.
No. Yeah, I mean, she's still good at 60, the flurry.
Yeah, I was gonna say at either line she's actually good because just traded flurry is good, and she's a giant, so she has the improved willpower, stuff like that. So
It's gonna be really easy to get her into a debris marker regeneration free.
I feel like she's just really ignorable though, because she doesn't have any movement attack on that first dial, so you just kind of leave her alone. I guess she can maybe base somebody, but it's still just an 18 impervious.
Again, we don't have a lot of outwit in this set, and there's not a terrible amount of penetrating damage, so 18 impervious is actually good.
Yeah, but a flurry with 3 damage, so if someone doesn't hit their impervious or that doesn't, it's just one.
We have tons of support pieces that have empower.
Power, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Like, there's so many of them. And she's going to be 60 points. I don't think you ever build it with her at 100.
No, never at 100. So we all agree that we're never putting her on a team at 100,
you
right?
play her at 60, though. If you look at how many figures have empower that she's just going to be able to benefit with.
She's in the brute pile.
So, yeah.
There's a pile of brutes coming out of your
play her over Zax.
Oh, absolutely. Let's...
I also, It's also because she has a rollout her entire dial. Like, beyond impervious, you have shape change that entire dial. So.
Oh, actually, I meant at 100. We said no 100, though. So...
No, you play her at 60. No.
See, I would actually... So I would... if you were able to make a brute team, like with some of the other pieces that we have not talked about yet, I think she automatically is included on that team at 60 points because she gives other friendly characters with the brute keyword ESD also. She can easily make that team. I don't think if you're not making a brute team, then I would not play her, and I would actually play Zax over her. So... Where are you with that then? So we all agree not 100.
I think that we're doing it with. There has to be a third team that's going to be brute when you're pulling quicksand with the amount of brutes that we get. Like brute is good and competitive, and like it's good and with the figures that are about to come up, and that's why I think quicksand will be making a team.
Based on your thing, if it's not a brute team, I'm playing Zax over her.
Okay,
but if you're gonna have a brute team.
Most likely, unless you have to break these pieces up to make different stuff for your teammates. Because remember, you're talking with 2 other people to make these teams.
You can just do a few brutes.
Yeah.
Well, every team's going to have the Hawkeye thing because everybody wants $50 from you.
Yes.
So there's plenty of other pieces.
They do have to pull 3 of them.
So there's 33 figures with brute, which is by far the highest.
Right.
The next highest is Avengers with 22. Like you're going to be able to pull X. Because we went through the comments, like the Lenny's the only one that's not a brute, but you have Pile Driver that's a brute.
So going back to my question though, if you make a brute team, she's an auto include on the brute team at 60 points, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
I
somebody
still
else
play her
needs to
over
pull.
Zach.
Somebody else needs to pull the rest of the other stuff, like Rhino and all that stuff. You can't make it work for whatever reason. Are you playing her on a team that's not brute, that can't take advantage of brute stuff?
In Team Sealed, no.
Okay.
I just don't. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that,
I guess
and
that's
that.
fair. In that format where it's more than 2 boosters, yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Now, if that's the case, would you put Zax over her at 60
No.
points with no
Yes.
I
brutes?
I don't like the fact that there's a map that can just completely make him neuter him.
Yeah, she's much more durable at 60 points than he is.
Because yeah, literally, you go on that map, he's dead. You're out at 60 points. You're out 100.
All right. So we're split on that then. That's just what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go to Primus. So this is another brute. I actually love Primus. He has shape change, and when it's not your turn, opposing characters can't be placed or generated within 4 squares of a friendly character with the brute keyword. We already said there's a ton of brutes in here, and it's team sealed. I like him at 100 points. He does have a 60-point line too. At 100 points, he's a charge, 12 attack, precision strike, and 4 damage impervious and perplex.
He's also one of the few precision strikes in the set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, and I think that's exactly what I think. Him at 100 is, I mean, very doable.
So you build around this
but-
uncommon then? Yes, most likely.
Yeah, and if you have to, you turn him down to 60.
If
But
you have
I think
to,
you start with 100. Yeah.
I would agree with that.
In your brute. Yeah, in your brute pile and your brute team, this might be your first 100 points, depending on what else you get. But if you get enough brutes to flesh out the whole team with all the other things that you can do, he's still great at 60.
Mm-hmm. There's a ton of great. There's a brute team in the CUR alone, and then if there's another piece that you can add later, then great. That's even better. So, Pete, would you agree with what Miles said too? You start with 100, and if you have to knock him down, you do. Depending on what.
100% agree.
All right, Dan.
Yeah,
At 12
because at 100 he's a much better attacker.
Yeah.
At 100. And so the 40 points, you're getting 3 clicks, but those 3 clicks are significant.
And more damage and charge, and that's 12 attack. I like seeing 12 on my attack.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, would you agree with that?
Who doesn't like 12 attack?
No, the rest of
Playing
it,
him at
with the 100 over 60, unless you have to knock him down, but he's most likely making a team for sure.
So, yeah, because the biggest thing is I usually try to put it as most clicks are 10 points per click, and that's pretty close because you're getting a lot for those 3 clicks. Yeah, it's 40 points, but you're getting a lot for it.
All right, going to then Hazmat. She is a poison, safeguard poison. She does have traded Pulse Wave. I am not a fan of her at 60 points, though. She's just
She doesn't
sidestep.
have-
She doesn't have traded pulse wave, she has traded poison.
It's
and she has
safeguard
traded
poison.
safeguard
Oh,
wave.
never mind. Yeah, okay. It's
No.
safeguard, poison, and pulse wave, so cool.
No.
Otherwise, she's just making
like-
smoke train markers that are radiation.
Yeah. That they can
We'll
move
get
out
to
of.
the.
But I
I
mean,
don't like
you know,
this one.
there is a world though when you're looking at that. You know, she's at 60 points, and you're like, all right, we're gonna be this. And so you have figures like Toad that can like tie him up, and then you're power generating their square. You know, so I mean, they're. But it's way more of a nuanced team that I'm not sure.
I'm
Or
not
Teal.
putting. I mean, I think that's funny, but at 105
that's
points
solid.
to do that, I don't think I'm
Yeah,
doing
no.
it.
No, that's something that you do like with the supercharged seal when it's 400 points because you're like, yeah, this is funny. I still have 295.
That's not bad actually then. But overall, let's just say team sealed. I'm not. She's getting put off to the side. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I like
this
her
is-
B side.
Yeah, so this is the B side. She is 75 points now. Same thing. She's poison and then safeguard poison. Oh, I guess she can get pulse wave though. And then what is hers? Oh, she has a special poison.
So you can you pretty much like teak or you know if she hasn't moved or whatever you can pulse wave, and then if you hit them and you're like, all right, guess what? We're gonna poison. So
Right after
as long
that,
as she
'cause
didn't
it's-
move.
what is it? Characters she hit this turn are considered adjacent to her when she uses
Yeah.
poison.
Yeah.
And then she's got ESD, so she's a 20 from range with
she pretty much
invincible.
has mystics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's that?
mystics. It's a little different. So you're gonna almost use her as a tie-up piece
Oh, okay.
because Now, whenever someone damages her, she's dealing 1 pin to all adjacent opposing. So if you just use her as a tie-up piece, they're like, okay, we want to deal with her, but like they can't have anyone adjacent to her unless they want, because it's going to be including the character if it's a attacker. They're also going to take 1 pin. So if you tie up like 3 or 4 pieces, they're all going to take 1 pin.
And you got to think about that too, then, because if obviously watch out for outwit, but she's got invincible on her first 3 clicks. So if someone's only hitting you for 3 or 4 damage, you get to do that twice and only click a little bit, and then everyone's taking 1 pen. So if you can go up against 2-3 people and base them, then they got to think twice about attacking you.
And if she ends up on her last 3 clicks, like you quake exploit.
Yep, and then she's gonna poison after that.
Yeah. So, no, I do like
destroyed. This piece destroyed me. It's better than what it looks like.
No, so yeah, because you use her. Don't be scared to tie pieces up. Like that's where her bread and butter is. Just by reading that, like you want to tie up as many pieces because they can either attack you or waste actions trying to get away from a minute. And either way, it's like okay, you just wasted 2 actions instead of attacking me.
So she is a weird point value to say you're not building around it, but I feel like she goes in that same pile of what I was putting in. Who else? Like Black Ant or Steve Rogers, right? Where there's a good chance they could make a team, but you're not building around them initially.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think she's higher up on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think she's in that pile where she's not going to, make every team, but I really think that people need to look at her. She should be making a team.
She's not a leaving the booster like the other Hazmat or Captain America.
You want this piece on your team. Like, she is just dirty. You just can't be scared. Don't be scared to throw her out there because that's where she shines.
Yeah, you can make it.
The biggest thing is just outwit. If you know you're facing an outwit, that's when you have to be more careful with her. But if your opponent doesn't have an outwit, she's a pretty safe pick to throw out there and be like, this should be fine.
Which there's a good chance that they don't have outwit in this set.
That's what I mean. So like, I actually had to play her because one of my sealed pulls were pretty bad. So it was like, oh well, I'm playing this figure.
Do you want to add anything to the B side of Hazmat, or do I go to D-Cell?
No, I played against her. She's sneaky good. I just think she's gonna end up getting played,
and not for a bad reason.
Mm-mm.
All right, now D-Cell, this is a piece you're trying to put on your Brute, and this is a reason to even make a Brute team right here, similar to Quicksand. Quicksand gives with the ESD. So this is when an opposing character makes a range attack, modify their attack -2 if they're targeting a friendly character with the Brute keyword. So you can get that for 25 points on a Brute team. Even though there's not a ton of range, there's still some.
And but again, if you now have ESD and then she's knocking him down to, I don't want to roll 10 on a 20.
Right. So now you have to take this that and just say that you're going to go up, and that's what Brutes want usually anyway. So that combination's awesome. So Brutes, this is a combination of D-Cell and Quicksand on a Brute team.
Not for nothing, I used her attack power too, and that, like, you have a max speed value of 3. It infuriated a couple of my opponents.
Now that would be after everything, right? So even if they had a charge, they'd still be able to charge 3. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's not great. Yeah. So that's annoying. It's in cap, and then if she hits, then they get maximum speed of 3. So 25 points is obviously where you're playing her, right? You're never going to do 55 in team sealed. She's then a running shot with that special damage power, 11, and range combat expert.
I think there's better because, like, now you're looking at, okay, so in order to do that, like, theoretically, you're going to put Primus down to 60, and that just doesn't feel good. Like, would you want Primus at 100 or D-Cell at 55?
Yeah.
I'd much rather use Primus.
No, she's a 25-point piece.
Yep.
There's not 2 lines. You just forget the other one exists.
You don't mind leaving her in the back at 25 points, too, to get that bonus. But, yeah, she should see a lot of teams. Brute is, like, one of the keywords to obviously try to make a team around for sure. Yeah. All right, this is the first rare. So this is the regular arcade at 50 points. How high up are you guys on him? So you would have to pull the trap
You need to
train.
pull traps. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess he is 50 point outwit,
Yeah.
and he does bring in his arcades for free, so he's essentially 25 points when you think of that. But that's only if you're second. But
So you have so hold on, let's just break this down. So you have a brick. Let's say you pull one of him, you pull 2 arcade robots, and you pull some trap terrain. Are you definitely playing him?
I think so, because he's getting you that outwit, and those trap terrain can all be really useful.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's say you do. I'm less high up on the trap terrain, honestly, but let's say
I just like him for outwit. But
let's say you don't
Which
pull
ones
any
are-
trap terrain, but you get 2 arcade robots. Are you still playing him?
I mean, it depends. I mean, he is bringing outwit, but yeah, you lose a lot of value with. Which ones are the trap terrain?
They're the ones, any of the things that are like the hindering terrain, but it's like the laser or the piranha pit or the snake pit, stuff like that.
So
okay.
honestly, in my case, I didn't really pull any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember
So-
pulling any.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it's-
You didn't?
it was hard.
Yeah.
In my case, I had a bunch. So
No, I had none. No, I take that back. I had a laser turret. That's it.
Yeah, so you're not pulling a ton. So that's what I'm saying. This
Oh.
guy is very heavily dependent on what you pull in that brick. And so let's say you pull no trap terrain and no arcade robots, are you going to put this guy on a team for sure at 50 points, or does he go in the maybe pile if you have 50 points
Maybe
left over?
pile. I mean, he does
No,
have
you're playing-
outwit, but it's a maybe pile.
Yeah, you can play 45-point Craven for that outwit. Save 5 points.
That's true, actually. That's a very good point.
yeah.
With the
And-
trap terrain and the 2 robots, maybe. The
Yeah, I was
strong,
gonna say,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can do all that much more for just 5 points more than Craven. The next 3 are Taskmaster. So first of all, are you playing just one of these if you don't have the others?
Are you pulling all 3? Did anybody ever pull all 3?
No.
I never.
Because I pulled 2 of the 3 out
So-
of a
I
case.
pulled A and B.
I
did I C.
I got all 3 in my case, but it was a case. It wasn't a brick.
Oh no, I got a case and I didn't get C.
I opened again 7 bricks and played a lot of sealed with Oliver and we got 0 C's. I got maybe like 4 or 5 A's and 4 or 5 B's, but 0 C's.
Oh. I got the whole set in the one case I had, so that was all. I only got 1 C.
So there's
A
a
and B-
chance you
A and
get
B
A,
together are
C.
still good, though. I mean, A and B are still good. They're still good
Yeah.
attackers at 65 points.
So let's just start with if you only pull one, though. Are you going to? So it's going to be one's a close attacking piece, one's a ranged attacking piece, and the other one's kind of defensive. So you probably honestly don't even care if you pull C, right? It is the outwit, which is nice. So let's start with if you only pull A or B. Are you playing A or B? How high up on the list are they? They're really just
Actually,
a range or close attacking piece.
I think I think that the range attacker, the B, is the one that you're going to look at playing with main force.
That's
Yeah,
what I was going to say.
he's actually
B's the
got
one that
above
you look
average
at.
range, and then his triple target sees through characters is really good.
Okay. So yeah, and it's a 6 range with 3 bolts, these 2 characters, and it's energy explosion
Yeah.
on the top or
And there's-
precision
so
strike
you're
on
like,
the
okay,
second
he's
click.
gonna replace. It's like, okay, you have him or Hawkeye. Like you're going to
Yeah.
go him. Or Hawkeye.
That's what I'm thinking is him or Hawkeye, yeah, because the biggest thing too is that there's enough shield and or enhancement in the set that he could really crank out the damage if you want to set it up.
Yeah, and they all have
And I
team
think
player
he-
too.
Yeah, and if you have A, I think it's perfect because you're able to heal him and everything, and that gives him the option. But realistically,
So,
from everything I've seen, is that most bricks come with A and B.
so if you have A and B, you would, or if you only have one or the other, you would find a way to probably play either one of those
B.
separately.
I think B, because I think we have better close attackers at 65, but I think that he's one of the better range attackers because of the triple target. I mean, you're talking triple target energy explosion.
But
That
yeah,
sees through
great.
characters.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, if you do get the C, it's 65 point outwit. Do you ever, so ESD super senses, that's about it. So he's a 19, let's just say he's a 19 defense, super senses ESD, and an outwit 3 damage. and stealth on the top. If you don't have A and B, are you ever going to put him on a team at 65 points?
No.
Okay, so
I think you always start with B.
he
I
only
think,
makes
I
this
think the only
the
thing
sideline
range.
or not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
I
it's
think the
sideline or
range
not
is
at all.
there,
Yep.
Now, A and B, would you ever split them up? Or if you
No,
pull
'cause it-
B, put A on the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play B on main force and have A on the sideline because you're always gonna start with range anyway. It's not like he has like a massive amount of swing on his close attack dial.
Yeah.
I mean, his attack is great with team player, but like this, are you going to do your 45 point Craven to be a 12 attack now?
I agree with you guys. I just want to see what you would say in those scenarios.
Yeah. I just think that he brings more to the table as a range attacker, and it's not worth starting him. If you only have the A, I think B, he definitely makes a team, because even if you're mostly a close combat, he is 65 points. Like, you want to bring him on the team.
Right. All right. Next is Giant Man 2. Miles, I know this is the one you like a lot, right?
Yeah, I like him at 30. 75 is a lot. I really like him at 30 because you're rolling willpower, and then you're able to place him within 4. Adjacent to a friendly character within 4. And then, he has that empower. And then you can give him Colossal to make his Quake 3 damage with an 11 attack. And he's only 30
I actually liked
points.
him at 75 because of the outwit, especially depending on. I mean, I had bad pulls when I played him, but the 3 damage.
I think if you're talking 2 boosters, absolutely 75.
Yeah, that's
but I
fair.
think in this, I think he should. I don't see him not making a team at 30. He just brings.
that's true.
He's like a really good secondary attacker, plus support with that empower, and he's tie up piece because you have a 66% chance to be able to place him adjacent to a friendly character within 4. So essentially, you're moving.
I like him at both point lines, actually. I mean, I don't know that you're building with him at 75, but at 30, he definitely gets to look on a lot of teams.
Oh yeah,
But I think there's definitely places where he gets played in a sealed environment at 75, depending on what else you have. Because for those extra 45 points, you are getting outwit top dial. So
I would say he is definitely making a team, but it's going to not be something you build around, and you just wait to see how the other teams kind of evolve, and then he either gets added at 75 or he finds a team at 30, or you make him work. You can't let him sit, right?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, he's too good. Brings way too much.
Yeah. What about the B
I mean,
side?
most of the time in
Going back.
these kind of things where you get one person that has to just make pieces out of the boosters work, right? Like you get the okay, this is one team, this is another team, and then you get all the other 10 boosters to figure it out. So I think he definitely is one that you put on the highly likely.
I mean, at
team.
75 though, when you are looking at it, he's at. You can place 5, charge 4, giant reach 3, and he's quaking for 3.
Yep.
With that wit. So, I can see a world where he does make 75 on a team because.
Yeah, I'm not gonna start a team with him, but I'm not gonna just throw him off to the side, or I'm not gonna not build with him either. He's making a team. It's hard to say right out of the gate if it's gonna be 75 or 30 points, but he's gonna find a team at one of those. You can easily play him at either.
Mm-hmm.
What about the B-side Goliath? So 50 points. It's empower and super strength. He's got defend, which 18 defend isn't that much. Most people have defend anyway.
Yeah, but if you look at the other part, he's pretty much making everyone a 19 because majority of figures are tiny and standard.
Okay.
So they're going to be modifying their defense +1. He does have empower. His trait's not really useful in this set. I think
what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
and it's near broken in constructed, but how?
Yeah.
It's worth noting. It's worth noting if you have a hypersonic destroys blocking, I guess, or something like that. right? Or you can send something
Yeah.
out and then recover it back up. It's the one where, so he's got power, remove all debris markers from all unoccupied squares within 3 squares, then generate a blocking terrain marker into each square that had a debris marker removed and has no other markers.
I mean, it's hilarious if you can do it for damage control with free with Lenny. Like, that's kind of fun. I mean,
Yeah, it gets stupid. I mean, if you're going against a range team, but I just he's better than the 75 point cap because he's pretty much giving 19 defend. I mean, it's just you look at it and it's like, okay, there's 4 giants, 6 giants. You know, there's very few giants be a 19. So he can also be an attacker, but it's like, okay, what else is he doing? Like, I just don't see a world that I'm playing him at 50 instead of Giant Man at 75.
Right. So I'm honestly probably not in Team Sealed. I'm probably not going to find a place for this guy, even if I can do that for free with Lenny, because he's probably going to team up better somewhere else.
Yeah, I do like Goliath and Constructed. He is stupid. I do have a team.
Oh yeah, there's not even. It's a completely different landscape.
Yeah.
If we're talking that, would you Dan or Pete? Would you play Goliath? Where is he ranking?
if my pulls were not great, but it's a brick, so they should be kind of okay. He's not bad for 50 points. His charge, super strength, invincible, and power is definitely not bad.
There's so many pieces that do that with better values or do more.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. That's why I'm thinking he's more of like, I put it to the side, and then if I can do something later, sure. But otherwise, he's not my first choice.
Pete, do you want to defend this Goliath?
No, I think he's super interesting. I think he goes in the if you can make it work somewhere pile, but you're not building around it. Okay. He's not terrible at 50 points, even as an attacker. He's not bad at all.
No. There's just, this set is honestly really good, and I just don't see him finding a spot for 50 points, even on 3 teams with a brick.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right, going to Rhino. This guy absolutely finds a team. This guy's sick. So he is.
You play him at full.
You always play him at full. He's got Flurry then.
I was gonna say, are we doing full or are we doing halvesies here?
Yeah, you can't play him if you play him at full.
This is a builder piece for sure. He's
Yes.
got the brute, so if you have the other brutes, you're powering them up with like quicksand and decel and all that. So he has when a friendly character uses charge, you modify his speed +1, so that'll be himself. So he has an 11 charge. Friendly characters. Oh, he has a charge because he's got the Sinister Syndicate team ability, and then his other traits or his other super.
And
other special power.
You have to have it on dial for Sinister Syndicate. You can't wildcard it to copy it to then charge.
Right, yeah. But he does have it, so that's why he's giving himself charge. And then he's got the super strength, and if Rhino destroys one or more pieces of blocking terrain this turn, modifies damage +1. He does also have Battle Fury. There's not a ton of shape change in the set, but there is some. So he's right out of the gate an 11 for 3. Which is a little weak, but if you can pick something up or go through something, he's bumping the damage up quick. So I think, we all agree you build around this piece at full all the time, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a 6 movement charge with Flurry, and he's hitting 11 for, as long as you destroy something. With you, it should be pretty easy.
Yeah, and he's moving 6
He's
squares,
getting played.
for sure.
100% of the time.
All right, Abomination. This is the prime.
Getting played 100% of the time.
At full, right?
If he doesn't make a team, I don't know why.
Then if he doesn't make a team, then you pulled the nuts. Like, that's literally it.
There's no way Abomination doesn't make a team.
I don't care what you pull. There's not enough pieces that he doesn't make a team.
No, I agree. That's the only way I could even debate it is like something like that.
That would have to be the craziest brick and probably a fake brick that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't.
This guy's a bomb.
He's smashing people.
In this set. Oh,
he's a bomb, man.
yeah.
All right.
He's a pantsless wonder. Let him loose.
All right. What about Wave? So she's honestly a really fun piece, kind of like a finesse piece. She has flight, sidestep, and flurry on her speed power. 50 points, and she interacts with water kind of neatly, but she's got perplex. This is one of the pieces I got to play with Zax. She's fun, but I don't think you're probably going to play her in team sealed. There's too many other good things that are doing more.
Yeah.
At
Any other
50 points, I
format
like
for
her
sure.
better than Goliath. But
Yeah,
she's not made for this format.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, team sealed. You got 12 boosters. She's a lot of fun. I could see her in any other BR or supercharged sealed, but she's probably not making a sealed team. Destroyer armor, you're obviously finding a place for that. Destroyer
You're
prime.
gonna give it to if you're gonna have Chase Absorbing Man, you're gonna give it to him for free. You're gonna swap him, so now Absorbing Man or Abomination can have it. So now he's gonna be a 21.
That is, yes, that would be great
or
and
20
ideal.
defense. That's what you're doing.
And it's
Yeah.
a thing you can do if you actually pull it. But yeah,
It's, yeah. This is 100% being played. And no one's paying points for this. There's so many Asgardian pieces. Something's gonna have this.
But even if
Yeah.
you do have to pay for it for whatever reason,
It's
you
worth
pay
it.
for
It's
it.
still
This
worth it.
needs to make a team, even if you're paying for it.
yeah.
If you don't play this, I don't
Losing.
know what you got in your brick that you didn't need this, right?
You're losing. If
Say,
you
I will
can't
take
make it.
I will take personal issue with it if you don't play this. Like, what is wrong with you?
Well, so
Are we gonna-
they can't because they're all three doing the Redmond challenge because they each want $100. So that's gonna be the.
All right, the Destroyer Prime. Obviously, this guy's insane. He was 3 of the top 4 at the sealed event in Alabama. 100% of the time. Huh?
I was gonna say that there's more nuance to that explanation of why he was on so many top teams at H for H.
Anything that would mean you
Dude.
wouldn't play him at 270 and every
No,
time you pull him.
because you could. No, it made him better because you could mulligan. Like if they didn't mulligan,
Do you know what's
wouldn't
better
be
than
really
mulliganing?
good.
Getting a brick.
Yeah, I know.
One of
So,
your
yeah.
players is going 5-0 with this piece.
Yes, exactly.
That's all that's happening. Because with the whole brick, you're building this out. And you're just like, all right, well, that's one team.
All right, and then we got Bulldozer. So this is the one that I think Miles mentioned earlier. Another Wrecking Crew piece. This is the one that's making the markers you were talking about.
Yeah. So when a friendly character with the Wrecking Crew keyword moves, and it's just lowercase, it moves, so you can sidestep. Before moving, they may generate and pick up a standard object or blocking terrain marker. And so I was saying with that's how you're easily able to get those 2 attacks.
Right.
Pile driver.
So he also has Brute keyword. He has Charge, but you don't have the speed, super strength, and improved movement through blocking, 60 points. So he can have a full move charge through blocking and then pick up a standard terrain marker every time he does that for 4 damage. So 11 for 4, full charge, breaks through 60. How many times are you playing this guy?
He's making a brute team. You play him without the Wrecking Crew. You look at the Wrecking Crew, you can play him without it. He is good by himself. Just him, Prime Abomination, and Rhino. That's just, you're going through people. And you could easily get that in a brick.
And don't forget, too, you can pump this guy up with just a move action to generate something and then drop it for somebody else later, too. And then Rhino could pick it up or whatever. So he works plenty good.
He also has Asgardian, so you can give him the Destroy. So now he's a 19 defense, so you can protect him a little bit with that.
Yeah, he's an option. For
even
that.
if it does make him giant. So.
Well, then you're full move charge with 3 through 6 willpower, sure.
Yeah, and then you're going to be
Giant reach.
Giant reach, yeah. So.
All right, and then we have debris for 35 points, toughness, power generate 2 debris markers and to clear squares within range and line of fire. And then she is a TK piece, and then free choose up to 4 debris markers within range and line of fire for each marker chosen. Deal an opposing character occupying or adjacent to that marker 1 damage. So no move and attack, but she has a 10 attack with that telekinesis power and a 3 damage enhancement.
You're definitely playing her.
Every
I
time,
think you
right?
play her, yeah, because even if you're not using her as an attacker, okay, and then you can have someone carry her up or whatever, because you're going to be destroying.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the
And
biggest
so
thing.
yeah.
Yep. It's not the debris that she has to generate. You just choose debris markers, and it can be up to 4 instances of 1 damage, which is just wild.
And then pair her with plenty of pieces that destroy blocking. She also has Avengers team ability. Yeah, so this is definitely a piece that you find a place for.
Even just the 35 points for TK, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna play that.
Right.
But then she does all this other stuff too. So
All right, so those are all the CURs. Let's go through the super rares just really quick. And obviously, I don't think there's any that you're not finding a place for. So,
they're all
Arrow,
played.
she's really your support. She's got TK, and she's a little bit more of a finesse piece, but she is definitely a 45 points worth playing in sealed.
I mean, not for
Yes.
nothing. I did see one of the people at H for H with 3 shields, and then she suddenly just shooting something for 6 from 8 away,
Yeah, that's
with
not bad.
which was kind of hilarious. So
But and also, yeah,
Yeah, I
perplex
mean, yeah,
prob.
it's perplex prob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Force blast is free. So
Mhm.
amazing piece. Be careful with her. Put her in the hands of somebody that definitely likes to do some tricky stuff.
I feel like I know a guy.
Who's that?
I mean, you know, like 5'11", kind of muscular,
I would play
has
her
a
for
bad
sure.
IQ half the time.
So you're just saying Calder, but he's not 5'11".
He said muscular too, though.
She's a great.
I said
Well,
muscular.
he's muscular, just not big. You know.
She's great. You're playing her.
yeah.
Yes.
All right, now we got the goats: Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder.
Happy the
Are-
goats
getting
are still
played.
with it.
Yeah, any
Yeah,
reason to
there's
not
somebody
play either of them? You can put the armor on them. They're brutes. These guys got to make a
They're
team,
big,
right?
right?
The big
They're
difference. The big difference is one has free destroy adjacent terrain marker, and the other one has knockback and adjacent opposing character.
I think for Team Sealed, honestly, either of them are good. It doesn't really matter. It's just whatever you want to do.
Your Tooth Grinder's gonna be seen as more of a must play because he's gonna have the impact. But I still
Yeah.
think Tooth Gnasher's worth it because
Tooth Gnasher is still great too. I actually prefer him more just because of the terrain shenanigans people like to do, and him just being able to remove a terrain marker for free is awesome.
I do like the just free knockback and adjacent opposing character on Tooth Grinder.
No, yeah, that's good too.
And then what is the big thing with them is just they can move with the Asgardians, so you can try to do that. You cannot. They're 50 points, so you wouldn't do that with Destroyer Prime. But there's
No,
other
and they're also
Asgardians.
not-
There's
Yes,
Wrecking
you
Crew.
can. Yeah, you can't. If you're playing him at 170 and you give them the Destroyer armor, they can carry up the Prime.
Would you do that though?
I mean, it's something
No.
you can do. I'm just saying. I still think that you play him at 170.
So if you want to find a way to lose with Destroyer Prime, it's playing him at 170 with the goats instead.
Is it not? Is he not 150? I thought he was 150 at low. Yeah, he's
He's
150 low.
Oh, 150. So
Yeah.
regardless, yeah, $50 if someone does that.
That's your $50. That's
There you go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that's definitely
Have to
not
be the same team where someone plays 3 Hawkeyes and 3 soldiers. All right.
all right. Constrictor. I've seen this guy do work multiple times in sealed. This guy is awesome.
Hey, he's like a piece I actually would want to pull in sealed. I'm like, this is great for a super rare.
Yeah, be careful of
play.
him. His sculpt is pretty boring,
Yep.
so he doesn't look
He
like
will-
much. But Giant Reach 3, when he hits after resolutions, give each opposing character an action token, then deal them damage equal to the number of action tokens they have. And then he also has ESD and invulnerability, charge, and exploit.
Boy,
So
Yeah.
yeah, if you see this guy across the map, that's really what you got to worry about is watch and make sure he can't get to you because that's mean. Green Harpy, again, you're playing her for sure. Are you doing it at 80
50.
points or 50? 50 for the running shot
50, you're going
Pensai,
with
right?
range.
I like 50
Yeah,
better.
You make that part of your range team because
Yeah.
now it's, you know,
So 50 points.
it's-
She's 4 clicks with a running shot Pensai, toughness, and range combat expert that has improved targeting, destroys blocking, and then after she attacks, after resolutions, destroy any one blocking terrain within 1 square of each character, or a hypersonic piece at 80 points with super strength, like a lot of the other pieces. So I think all of us are going to
I
say
like her.
low. Yes, make her the ranged. Pete, do you differ on that one?
No, I'd play her at low, but I mean, if you have the points, it's not a terrible 80 points. So I think either way, she's going on the board.
yeah. But yeah, plus she has Brute. Brute doesn't have a lot of range, and so like just really make up for that, which I really like.
Yeah, that'd be a great addition. Is having a range piece on a close heavy a team.
And range that does penetrating damage, not just like a range attacker. So.
Right, yeah. Red Harpy, she's the prime. You're gonna play her.
You're playing her.
You have to find
And
the
then you're
right
going to roll
piece.
the same number twice.
Yeah, so this would not be on my team, but I would suggest one of the other players on my team use her. So again, this is a piece you want to put on the right. Find your Dan.
Find your Dan. That's it. Dan, here's your piece. What do you mean you're not playing it? Nope, you're playing it. Dan, put it back on your team.
Yep. Nope. Now restart it. I know we pulled Prime Destroyer. Sorry, Dan. You're playing Red Harpy. Give me Destroyer.
Yeah.
Because she won't ever be KO'd all day.
Yep. There you go. Yeah.
No.
All right, so then Titania is the next one. This one's kind of interesting. At 30 points, this is another piece where she's 100 points or a lower point, so 30 points. You find a place for her, right? She's got Brute.
I'm almost thinking that you play her at 100 with super strength and close combat expert.
So
See,
I mean,
I didn't see her play out well in sealed. The matches that I saw that people had her, she did not play out that well.
was she playing 30 or 100?
100.
So I would say with her, you're putting her in that pile that we mentioned before, and she's making a team, but depending on what you're building with, you're going to go 30 or 100. But she's not going to sit out. If you're not able to make any great third team, I think she's a fine place to start with those 100 points, but you got to fit her in for 30 at the very least.
I was gonna say on a brute team, she's definitely 30 points. Like that's easy. It's just, she offers such defense for 30.
Well, yeah, no, if you just have that third team, that's just they're like I like you have to use her at full. Like you have to. She's such a good piece.
You have to use her at full?
I just didn't see her.
If you have a team that you're trying to build like from like Kurs and there's just nothing good.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have if you're trying to make your third team and it's just not off to a good start, you can easily put her at the 100 point line instead. Otherwise, ideally, she's your 30 points on a brute team because then she's only sidestep, but she also then has her Quake power and the exploit weakness. So her Quake, if she's adjacent to another character with the brute keyword, which that's what we're trying to build with her, she has giant reach 3. And then, again, super strength is traded. Friendly characters with the brute keyword take a maximum of 1 damage from opposing characters that can use super strength or close combat expert, which in sealed for this set is a lot of pieces. So this is a piece that you're fine leaving in the back for 30 points, and she can hold her own if someone does come up to her.
And oddly enough, the funny part about that is it's from either close or range. It's not like, I know obviously if you have super strength or close combat expert, you're gonna want to punch somebody, but
it could come into play though too, because you also have like they could throw terrain, right?
Exactly. So I just wanted to point that out, that it works for both.
And there's plenty of people with traded super strength. Like what about that green harpy we talked about? Does she have it?
Yep.
No, she's not traded.
She's got a top dial for her hypersonic clicks.
Yeah, she has her top dial, so now you're like, oh crap, I should have played her at low. That's
All right, what about Cinder? A lot of people weren't. Yeah, a lot of people weren't high on her, but I have no problem starting a team with her at 80 points. She's got leadership. She's a giant. The damage output she has potentially, and people really have to think about attacking her. I like her a lot.
So the her matchup, though, the mirror match is hilarious because whoever hits first, I'm pretty sure just wins.
Because it keeps going back and forth, right?
Yes, if you're within the 2 squares thing. Yeah, it's really dumb to watch it happen. You're like, wait, what?
That would be unfortunate, but she was pretty common. I pulled, again, way more of her than I did of Absorbing Man.
I pulled 2 of her in my case.
I also
Cinders?
did.
I have, I think, 7 Cinders at least.
I like her a lot. I think you play her.
Would you try to build with her would you try to build with her at 80 and start there, or add her later at 55?
No, you start. I think you play her at 80. You don't chop her down to 60 to 55. You lose so much for those 3 clicks, and it's only an extra 25 points. It's not that much.
Yeah,
she's literally less than 10 points a click.
You're gaining leadership then too.
Yep.
On keywords that probably need it.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's the last super rare. So Are there any chases? So we got Thor, Tony Stark, Hulk, Captain America, Magneto, Juggernaut, and Freya. Captain
They're all getting
Marvel.
played.
Tony Stark is probably gonna be the one chase that you probably might not build with because like you need Stark Industries and scientists, so it's gonna be tough.
So 60 points, TK outwit. I feel like
He's still getting.
You
He's
can-
still getting played.
he's probably the chase that you want the least.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that I'm just think that if there's
And
one
when he-
chase that someone pulls that won't be on one of the 3 teams,
I still feel like
I'm
he'll
not saying
find
I
a way
would
to.
play him.
No, okay.
Yeah.
He's probably the one that you want the least. And constructed, he's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no.
when you want that beat stick for your chase. So I think
Yeah.
he's probably the least amount. What would you guys put as number 1?
What for chasing?
Chase. So the chase, let's say you get one chase in your brick. I know there's stuff where there's more.
gonna
We're
have to
not
say
going to
Hulk.
include Absorbing Man.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say Hulk.
All right. I'm
Just
going to
because
go.
he has the ability to heal. That's the only reason why I'm going with him over Juggernaut.
Okay. I'm going to go just in order with all these just so we can rank what we feel is the best one. I'm going to say Captain America is the one I would want to pull first. Keep in mind that you're thinking about your team just either going around one of these guys or building and having this as one of your team's like main focus points. Dan, what would you say? Number 1 chase.
Want to pull?
Yeah.
For... I agree with Miles. I'm gonna say Hulk, honestly.
All right. Pete?
I would go Captain America, but I would say there's a very close caveat for Juggernaut, especially if you get a destroyer armor.
Yes.
Because
No, yeah.
I've
I wanna
watched
say
that
Juggernaut.
in action. That's ridiculous.
Oh, Ali had a blast.
Him not being able to heal. That's the
What?
problem. That's the one thing that I hate.
This is the same thing though. With you're talking sealed versus constructed, right? Like I do not like him in
I
constructed.
still think that there's because there's not a lot of penetrating damage. So
So let's you know
and
what,
even
this,
so,
what might
I guess
be
he does have terrific tricks,
what might
but-
be easier is honestly just Miles, go ahead and rate your order. Best most wanted chase to pull to last.
most wanted would be Hulk, Cap. Then I'd have Juggernaut, Thor, Magneto, Freya, and then Tony. Because
And-
Freya's good, but she's also has that niche where like you don't want your chase to be full support.
I think that she's actually the exception to that rule. Just
Yeah,
because of
'cause
the
if
way
you
that
pull-
she buffs, she's so much more than just
But you don't
support.
even pull. Do you pull? Does she come with all 3 of the storyline terrains?
You don't.
Oh, you
have
don't
to,
need that. You
like-
can proxy those.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
you
okay.
can-
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you could proxy those. I thought you had to have them.
No,
no.
they're just blocking terrain. No,
Yeah.
you just here's my terrain marker. Here you go. That's it.
Okay, I thought since they had a card that you couldn't proxy them.
No, and
We're-
those don't come with cards, by the way. I like the one I have doesn't have a card.
Did you put Captain
Really?
Marvel in that, Miles?
Oh, I forgot about Captain Marvel. Ooh, I mean, let's go Hulk, Cap, Captain Marvel, Thor, Juggernaut, Magneto, Freya, and then Tony. Yeah.
Okay. Dan, what about you?
Let's see, Hulk, Cap, Juggernaut, Thor, but only at low. Freya, Magneto, Tony. Yeah.
Did you say Captain Marvel?
Oh, I'm sorry, Captain Marvel. I keep forgetting about her. Where is she?
She's
Oh,
after
just way
Freya's markers.
way down here. Okay. So she'll probably slide in after Juggernaut, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Like she's good, and she's definitely worth the points in sealed.
Pete?
Captain America, Juggernaut, Hulk, Captain Marvel, then Magneto, then probably Freya, but that's actually I'd put Freya above Magneto. So Freya, then Magneto, and then Thor, and then Tony.
All right. I'm going to go Captain America, Hulk, Juggernaut, Freya, Thor, Magneto, Captain Marvel, and then Tony Stark.
I will say I don't think you should play Thor at high ever. in sealed.
And sealed even.
Yeah, I don't think you should play him at high. He does not offer like what you need in sealed for his high line.
Yeah, probably not. It's an extra 75 points for 4 clicks. It is leadership.
But you're also like he's a below average range attacker, and that's not good for your chase if especially with how this set works.
Yeah, there's enough good stuff. You probably do not need to play him at 150, so 75 is probably the better one. There's only a few one-shots. Where are those? So definitely ask your opponent if they have one-shots when playing in these sealed events. I've been surprised by them a few times. They're still pretty rare, I would say, compared to the other sets that we've had them in, right? Like Collector's Trove, they were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty rare, but it's definitely, I would try to put them on any of your teams. So there's there's only 3 that are in the main set, right? Because Unstoppable is for the release day.
Yes.
So
you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Heimdall
Yeah.
Sight and Influence Policy.
So you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. When a friendly character takes damage after resolutions, you may choose that until the end of your next turn. They can use Battle Fury, Close Combat Expert, and Invulnerability. So obviously that one's really good. At the beginning of your turn, these are all 5 points. At the beginning of your turn, this is Heimdall Sight. You may choose a friendly character with the Asgardian keyword. If you do, this turn that character has a minimum range value of 8. Again, you're playing that one on anyone with the Asgardian keyword. When a friendly terrain marker is destroyed, if it had a point value greater than 0 after resolutions, you may remove up to 3 action tokens from among friendly characters. None of them have point values in this set, right? Even like the Dumpster Fire?
Wrecking Ball. Just Wrecking Ball.
Okay, so I guess on
So
the
I
off
still think it's
chance
worth
you pull Insurance Policy and Wrecking Ball, maybe if you have 5 points that's not used, you throw it on there, I guess. But
I
that
guess,
would be
yeah,
the
you're like,
only-
all right, I'm not paying 5 points for my Wrecking Ball, so I'll just pay 5 points for Insurance Policy. But that still feels not good.
Weird, yeah. If you have the 5 maybe and that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be our sealed talk there. We do have a few listener questions.
Your ass better call somebody!
First, we have Wes Robertson with Westpool. Will you guys miss me at Origins? I don't think anybody misses Westpool.
Who is Westpool? Is he even real? I've never seen him anywhere at
I haven't
events.
seen him at any events. I haven't even seen him anywhere in a long time.
No, I think that he's AI created because I've never actually seen him with people. I've seen him talk to people like from his camera, but I don't even know if it's real. I think it's like those Bigfoot AI videos. I don't think he's real.
It's true. Second question. This is the team I've been working on so hard for the last couple months. What do you think about the concept? Had I been able to attend, would this team have made top cut? This is the Asgardian one with Asgardian Spider-Man, right?
No, it's Gauntlet Spidey.
That's what I meant. They are different, though. I don't care about either of them, but
At least Asgardian Spidey has like practical use.
so this is the Gauntlet Spidey, yes, from Spider-Verse, and then it's also the Captain America chase with Mjolnir, Despero from Masters of Time, Kevin, Scarlet Witch from the Cookie Quartet, Copycat, Phoenix, and then 2 5-point time breakers. And To Me, My Hammer on the sideline with Ares, Beetlejuice, Deadpool, Mimic, and Treasure Chest. Is there ways to trigger Spider-Man on your own?
Yes, so you use the
Yes.
time breakers to call in Beetlejuice. You have Beetlejuice deal Spider-Man the damage. The stop click is on reveal, so even if you were to bypass it, you would still get the trigger, and then you can also order of operations it to then when he generates the you can keep the gauntlet that he generates because you can activate or you can trigger To Me, My Hammer before he wipes out the sideline and the equipment, so you can save it basically.
It's not a bad trick. And then he also has Despero with Scarlet Witch, so he could TK for another ping on him too, right? If case
It's
Beetlejuice.
Copycat.
Oh, and
Yeah, 'cause you only got
Copycat,
it
yeah.
too.
So you're definitely able to get it off. It's a cool trick. So let's just say everything goes as you plan. You get rid of everyone's equipment. What on average do you guys think you're going up with that trick?
Well, he said right here he scored as much as 70 points. I think on average you'll probably get
50, probably somewhere in there.
at least on average 30 at least.
At least 30. I would have said like 50 probably, just because you're losing like one shots and stuff too, right?
Yeah. On my team, I think I lose, what do I lose? 10, 20, 35, 55, 60. So yeah, I lose 60 points off between my
And
equipment.
I would be down 20 on mine. But and then also you can't if you're going against a Chair Panther, you're not going to be able to use my hammer. Can't use sideline active. So now you're going to be down 20. But it's still, I mean, you're still going to make people come at you. He's talked to me a lot about this. I don't know. I think that aggressive teams can get to it. I do realize, he does have the cap thing and everything.
See, this is what I like with this Captain America. We were talking about this with other teams too, right? This is like working.
Yeah.
It's obviously going into the Spider-Man gimmick, but it's very much has a very distinct place for Captain America too. It's not just, I'm going to go attack you and I have the Colosseum marker. He's playing a much bigger part on this team. So I actually do like this quite a bit. It's definitely a more unique team.
It's going to catch people off guard. And then at Adepticon, you also notice too, like a lot of people play scared. And this will be like, oh crap, I'm down 70 points. I have to rush. But I still think there's some teams, and he says like, it does have a chance to make cut, but you're going to have to play it perfect as well.
I think the other thing that's worth mentioning too is that this is a team that no one has played. No one's going to see it coming. They're going to see Despero. They're going to be like, oh, you didn't have Chair Panther and you wanted to take something off my sideline. And it's going to probably honestly make top cut, but then everybody's going to talk about it during lunch, and then it does not go any further.
Yeah.
Because it has a lot of really cool tricks and it has some potential, but I think everyone looks at the weaknesses during the break, and it's a little bit easier to break then. But I think it honestly for sure makes top cut if nobody got a chance to look at this team.
Even with that, yeah, and you have Spot is still going to be a threat to be able to get stuff out of that Colosseum, even without the Hell Cycle.
There's just so much crazy stuff in Modern right now it's a gauntlet. I think that this could do really well. Like Miles was saying, you go up in points so fast, you have to change the way that that's the big thing, right? In the moment, you lose all your equipment. You're like, I don't even know how to play my team anymore. Can I do this? Can I do that? But then, whoever is going up against whatever spot you are in top 8, they're going to be like, all right, this is what I'm going to do when I lose my equipment. People have a plan then, and I think that changes it all.
And this is when I was breaking down, like people like asked like how to practice, and this is why like I go and find figures that might never be played, but you need a strategy against. Like Spider-Man does something different that no one else does. Like if you need to know what to do against him. Primus, you need to know what to do when you can't place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very important. Like, what are you going to do without your equipment? Like these questions need to be asked, and whether you're practicing full game or you're just theory crafting and trying to figure out strategies, I think that's something that gets missed a lot. And you see that at tournaments because people get lost.
Right.
And sure, it seems like overkill that, I'm planning on that, but you never know what you're going to go against because people are going to bring off the wall stuff. Because even though you can't play everything, the metas, everything is so broken right now that everything can be played. And so you have so many more things that you have to actually be cognizant of.
Just real quick, the Spider-Man, even if you had to have paid for the item to have it, or that's only on the sideline. So even if you paid $0,
that's only on the sideline, yeah.
Right. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I just want to see how much
like that.
I was gonna say I have like 4 free equipments on my team, so I'm losing a lot of points because I'm just eating equipment after that.
But it's also worth noting too that when you pay for the gods, it's this game. So the gods are not. You still get to use those powers. Butterfly, it's this game. So you can still use the mass leeching, even if those are off your sideline. And you don't score the butterfly until you KO the butterfly's swap.
So in that instance, you can't because he won't be there to swap back out. You'll just get
but you still score him because the replacement you score the figure that's higher.
Yeah. So you'll just get 60 points for whatever figure you KO.
Yeah, but Butterfly, the mass leeching is this game, so you still get a benefit from that. The gods are this game.
Yep.
And I don't know if you score the 10 points off the bat or because you're actually assigning it to a figure. So as long as that figure's on the map, you should still not score the 10 points.
For which thing are you referring to?
The gods.
If you paid 0, I don't think you get any points.
No, you don't. No, I'm saying if you score 10 points, is that considered the sideline points? Is that main force?
I believe that's main force points, so it would come off when the
you have to KO that figure in order to get it. But yeah, you still get those powers this game. You still get the mass leeching this game. So, it's worth noting because it's going to be something that everyone's be like, whoa, what's going on? Like, what can I do and what can I can't do? So.
It's a neat trick, though. I mean, just imagine some of these teams that lose, like, Canon Event, Fortified, Rivalry off their sideline, and you lose, like, Trick Arrows, right, or Motorcycle on spot. Like, you're totally changing a lot of the strategies that you plan on using going in.
Yeah, I mean, people are banking on those. People are banking on Heimdall's site saying, oh, I'm going to get this, and all of a sudden, like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Because, like, even with Chair Panther shutting that down, you can KO Chair Panther and get it back. Right. With this, you can't.
Did you want to add anything else, Pete? I know Miles and I talked a lot about that.
No, I'd give up. I think 40, but I mean the thing is Beetlejuice is never getting to the board, so I'm not going to activate Spider-Man until I've killed a bunch of other stuff.
Well, he's going to be able to activate it with Despero because he'll be able to TK with.
So he TKs and takes one. He's near the dumpster thing, right?
Yep.
No, but he'll be able to TK again. So he'll take another one because he has Copycat and Scarlet Witch.
So the whole team works off of triggering it turn 1.
And then he'll be able to TK with Phoenix. So but even without Juice, he's still triggering it.
But still, Juice isn't coming out to slow down everything else.
No.
And then you've got Scarlet Witch, who's very killable. Copycat, who's killable. Phoenix is killable. The Timebreakers, which are killable. Despero is very killable. So you got to deal with Captain America and Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's where
Spider-Man's also, and if Spider-Man's on those clicks, he's now just leap climb and in cap. Like he's not really a whole lot of anything.
So then you just have to.
It's a cool idea. I mean, it really is. I'll give Wes all the credit in the world. This is a very unique way of doing something.
And that's where you're building into.
Beetlejuice is never. He's never going to be featured in this game.
Like phase 2 then is going to be Barrier with Copycat and Phoenix, and then using the Colosseum, because then they have to come to you, and you place that Colosseum on your side, right? The only problem is that you're just basically banking on the Barrier and the Colosseum, because like what everyone else said, there's not a whole lot Spider-Man's doing after that. He's not great anymore. He's fine, but not great. So it's really just Captain America. And you have to ask yourself, is the other team without equipment better than Captain America?
Because Cap's losing Mjolnir, because if you're looking at this and you're going to shut off To Me, My Hammer and Juice, you just are.
My question is that I was wondering how Mjolnir worked against that, because of the fact that it says if this character has one of their qualifying names, Mjolnir can't be unequipped, destroyed, or yeah. So that means so anybody opposing that's running Mjolnir on a Captain America or a Thor is safe then too.
Yes, it's safe. Collector is safe. That's another thing too. That you're not going to be getting collector points. You're not going to be getting Mjolnir points. If someone has a qualifying name.
Oh, okay. So I'm only down 40 points. Then I'm not down 60 like I thought I was. Okay.
Yeah. So like if he's going against a collector, he's not getting those points for collector. Those 30 points.
Yeah, that I figured.
And then you're probably bringing most of your team over, right? And then you're also now scoring those extra 10 points off the Colosseum as well. And there's a ton of stuff that's farmable on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now if you look at it too, you're going to be getting 30 points from Mjolnir and To Me, My Hammer if you're playing Collector. Collector's the one team that I'm not sure how well this does against, because you're not going to really be playing that much equipment. And so outside of collector. So now it's, and this is also banking on going first, because there are some collector teams where they give collector equipment. And so this is definitely banking on going first. But like, if you're looking at the collector team, which, you know, collector has been winning events and he's still a threat. People, they're trying to get away from him, but it's not likely. You're going to be able to shut off To Me My Hammer and Beetlejuice, which is easy enough. And then, so now you have 30 points. They might have 10. And so now what are they going to do? Because there's no way for this team to actually be full aggressive against a collector team. And so now collector can just sit back like, all right,
Yeah.
I got you 30 to 20. What are you going to do? So that's where that comes into play. Because if I was a collector, I'm not going to you. I'm up by 10 points. You think I'm going to go to that Colosseum? No. You're going to come to me.
So my question is, if Spider-Man doesn't have that power, like if someone, like, easiest point is Cap, right? Hits you, you don't have defense powers, and you push right past it, it doesn't trigger then, right?
It says when this click is revealed, so you just can't use powers. So at the //, that's where it gets interesting, is because it says when this click is revealed. But so it's the same thing with Red Hulk.
So if Cap attacks him and he can't use defense powers, he'll still get that, is what I'm wondering, I guess.
I don't think so.
No, he shouldn't. No, because it's entire defense power. So no,
that's what.
He shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, if
That's
you
what
can't
I-
use defense powers, that would be off.
But yeah, that's why he's triggering himself. You got to look at like teams that are winning and collectors winning. This team just loses the collector. So you're going to build this team hoping to go against other teams, and then the luck of the draw is you play 3 straight collectors. And so now you're 0-3.
Because a lot of collectors teams too, is there's not that many sideline elements that are like points paid for and stuff. It's a lot of just free stuff that is yes, it's beneficial, but still, you know.
It's gonna depend on the gauntlet he has to run though too, right? Because so many people are also building for the collector. So if he can dodge the collector, I don't see a lot of collectors honestly making top cut because everybody's preparing for it. That's my opinion.
Oh no, I get that. I just know, knowing my luck, I'm gonna go, oh, no one's.
People are going to be playing him for sure. I don't think that he's going to do well at this event. There's going to be a significant number of collectors. I just don't think that he's going to be doing that well, and not many will make cut. Okay. So if he can dodge them,
that's what I'm worried about now too. Is that how else does it matter if you're not 4-1 with points?
Yeah,
you really got to be. That's the one thing I learned between Champion Clicks and Adepticon is if even with a winning record, you got to have points. You can't skate through. With low points.
All right, let's go to number 3. One has to go. Which is it? Bacon, ice cream, hero clicks, and sex. That's tough, but I'd have to say bacon. Everything else is kind of its own thing. Bacon just kind of goes on other things to make them better, right? I mean, you could probably enjoy bacon with every one of those other things.
No, I can't lose my bacon. I'm taking ice cream out.
Really? Oh, dude, I love ice cream. We had ice cream tonight.
That's
we had bacon too, though.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. So,
out of these
ice
4,
cream's going away.
Really?
No, I mean, I agree with bacon. I'm saying for Miles, like that's like a personal preference thing. So, yeah.
I love Miles. Ice cream's gone. We're keeping bacon.
Yeah, I can't live without bacon.
But as you pointed out, they all work well together.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah, bacon makes everything better. Mm-hmm. All 3 of those become better with bacon.
Yeah,
and that's scientific fact.
Ice cream does not become better with bacon.
It does.
I could see that. Some bacon, little bits of bacon on top of some ice cream. Sure.
You ever had maple donuts with bacon? It's gonna be the same thought process.
The same
as
thing as ice cream. Donuts.
It's gonna be the same thing. Where you get that sweet.
How about just all 4 of those things in one day? Sounds like a pretty great day. So it's hard to pick one. And say no.
That's an average day.
It's an average day.
Ice cream like 3 days a week.
All right, let's go to number 4. Would you play hot clicks at red, white, and clicks? Standard 300 modern game. At the beginning of each player's turn, both players eat a hot wing covered in unknown hot sauce. They will include wings with the bomb from Hot Ones on YouTube. Each figure KO'd, the figure pilot eats a hot wing, or if you take a drink or you take a click of damage. Both players win a brick. First place also gets a trophy. Just an idea I'm kicking around. I think my only suggestion is make it like boneless wings so you can eat it with a fork, because when you're touching things with your fingers and then you got to touch figures and dice and maps and cards and anything else, it just would get pretty bad if you're eating with your hands. And then maybe simplifying it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if
as
you're not
long as
doing
it's-
boneless, then what are you doing? Then is somebody feeding you?
Yeah, no, we're playing on Wes's map, using Wes's dice, using Wes's figures,
Figures.
reading Wes's. That's what we're doing.
I would make it simple too, like pulp or something like that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't want to play a competitive team eating hot wings at the same time.
No, I would not. I would definitely want the fork and knife treatment for this with clicks, because yeah.
So here we go, Wes. So a pulp 300 and make it boneless wings. You can eat with a fork, and I'm in. I'll probably regret it, but yeah. Number 5. Or wait, Pete? What'd you say?
Oh no, I'd 100% do it. I think I agree. I don't want people touching my stuff after they touched wings. So, me included.
Number 5. Happy Father's Day, especially to Miles with his army of kids. How did each of you spend your day? Which I think we all went over that in the beginning. But he also adds, the 4 of you are a family. Who is the dad, mom, and the 2 kids? Feels a little weird to answer that
Me and
question.
Peter the kids. Me and Peter the kids. Dan's mom.
Dan's mom. He is the most nurturing.
Yeah.
It's
Small.
not Redmond. Yeah.
You know what? That's like actually an agreeable answer, I think, right? I feel like that's
That is a fair answer. I would have honestly said it's hard for me to say Dan is not the kid since he's the closest age to a kid.
Oh, I get it, but yeah, it's just I put me and Pete because we're way more childish.
That's honestly really a good point, and it's making me second guess my
Total
answer.
man children. Yeah.
As soon as Miles uttered it, I was like, you know what? That makes so much sense. I'm not even
You're
going to challenge it.
I want to be mad that you said I'm the mom, but I can't. You know.
Redmond, I mean, where are you going to actually slot in other than just the super condescending, disappointed dad constantly?
I mean, that's where I would have put myself, exactly, telling you guys to do better.
absolutely.
And yeah,
100%.
doesn't matter how good you do, you can
stupid.
always do better.
Yeah,
You're
my
stupid.
Yeah. In my head, he was either the dad or the kid. It was one or the other. There was no other in between there.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
the answer.
Going to number 6. With the revelation that we are getting Thundercats and HeroClix, what are you looking forward to their abilities to do? Do you think we will get any equipment like the Sword of Omens? Is the Sword of Omens the most phallic symbol in cartoons? It's small and flaccid until he whips it around a couple times and calls out the Thundercats ho. Then it becomes a massive and powerful sword and gives Lino all his powers. Double entendre. If we get a Sword of Omens, I hope it has a sideline active effect where you can give pieces on your Force of Power action to put a Thunder token on the Sword of Omens, and then when the 3rd token is added, you also have to say Cats Ho, and then any character that isn't holding the Sword of Omens can't take free actions. Just kidding, anything like that would ruin the game and make a lot of pieces unplayable and ruin a lot of creative teams. And then it would but it would also make legacy pieces and legacy cards that counter it skyrocket in price.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm on the fence with it because I love Thundercats, but when you look at how everything that's non-DC and Marvel, specifically Kong and Juice, like I'm worried that they're going to be beyond meta and just take fun away from the game, and it's just I don't want that. When I see Thundercats on the map, I want to be like, yes, this game's going to be amazing. And I'm worried that we're not going to get that.
I don't really have a problem with Kong. Like, I don't see him as like unfun.
No. What I'm saying is what they do for their point cost and everything like it's.
Oh yeah,
when you look at Kong and Juice compared, it's just.
So that usually
I want Thundercats to be good but not game breaking, and to do stuff that just shouldn't exist, like Juice.
That usually is only an issue though when it's like a one-off piece, right? When it's a team of pieces, typically there's some really good ones and ones that aren't as playable, but overall they're not as crazy broken. When it's like
I'm specifically talking about Mumra. I can just see Mumra just doing something completely
I
different.
was like, Mumra better be meta because oh man, that sculpt is dope, and I wanna put that on my team.
I don't. It's not meta. Just just competitive fun. We can have figures that are fun that can still be good.
Oh,
We don't need them to be
when I'm calling
busted.
it that, I'm like, oh, it's a good piece and it's worth playing. It's not like
Yes, that's exactly what I want. I want these pieces
tier 0
to be, and I want them to be played together. When you play, if you play them all together, that they do something even bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it takes you playing the entire Thundercats for them to do something stupid, I think I can accept that.
Would it be bad if it was like if this was like because this set reminds me of like the X-Men first appearance because you get the Magneto on the flip side where he's the big bad guy, and this would that be bad if it was a similar style of like how they were designed where it's like, hey, the Thundercats work really well together and they're all like relatively close in point value, and then you have
that'd be good, but I want the Thundercats to actually be playable. I don't think the X-Men are. I think Magneto is.
Yeah, I was just basing it on how.
That's what I mean. Yeah, if it takes you to play all 4 of the Thundercats for them to do something stupid, I'm totally fine with that because you have to play them. You can't just play Lion-O and then just break the game. Like you have to play Panthro. You have to play all of them, and there better be a Snarf bystander.
Oh yeah, he's not in the set, is he?
No, but they didn't say anything about no bystanders, so we might get them or generate them. I think Lion-O should generate them.
Definitely. My question is, has he passed off the sword to other people? I don't.
No, he's never really passed it off because it's his sword. I think the 2011 one, he was the only one that could hold it.
Okay, it was one of those where I haven't seen it in who knows how long, and I couldn't remember if it was one of those where like anybody else ever used the sword versus him. I thought it was always pretty much just him.
In the 80s cartoon, they had Mumra do it, but like. If you're not Lion-O or his descendants, like you don't get to use the powers, and so I think that's probably fine. Why it's not an equipment is because it's going to be specifically for Lion-O. So it could be like the Spider-Man where he generates the Sword of Omens, or gets for him specifically.
Everybody's just talking about the Sword of Omens, but they all have like a weapon. You have Panthro that has like those nunchucks with the like panther claws on them, and then Tigra. Yeah, Tigra has the like the Bola lip, right? Bola whip.
Yeah,
and that's like Chitara. Or
Chitara had a bow. She had a bow staff.
Yeah,
Tigra had like the 3-ended like Bola whip thing, right? And then I think like things shot out of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like they all have cool weapons
stuff too.
Yeah, Kit and Cat. They had the hoverboards, right? And I think they threw things actually.
They just throw rocks.
Who's
what is he?
Who did they announce?
I seen him Mumra.
Mumra. It's Mumra.
Panthro, Tigra, and Chitara, right? And then Lion-O.
And Lion-O. So there's 5.
Yep.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no.
And you're missing Kit, Cat, and Snarf.
And Snarf. Okay, and none of the what are those? Are they called mutants? What are those guys called?
Mutants. Yeah.
Because there was a vulture, a fox, I think, and then some weird toad blob guy. What were they called? They were just mutants?
Mutants.
Okay.
They were the mutants, yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I have high hopes for this. The worst thing about it is that we have to wait till 2026.
Monkey.
Wait, is it 2026?
Oh, the monkey, too. I forgot about the monkey. Oh, no. Yeah. Is the monkey the fox? I think the monkey... No. Is he?
No, there was no fox. There's a monkey.
So I'm thinking of the monkey.
Yeah. Monkey is the monkey.
Okay, I'm thinking of him. It's not a fox. Yeah, okay.
I seen a meta Mumra. That's all I need from this set.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, okay.
We're getting Silverhawks because we need Monstar.
We do need Monstar, the ever living. Mumra, Monstar. It could all be a thing.
No.
Yeah, and then Tiger Sharks. I want them all.
That leads to the fact that this is one of the, I think, top properties that people have asked for, right? Is Thundercats. So this opens like a huge potential door to stuff that we've been asking for years and years. So it's really exciting to see this be announced.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, going to Mark Bird. With Aqua Miles missing in action and rumored by Miles to actually be dead, has Rebgorn been looking for a new co-host to start up a new show as Tide to Tide was Aqua Miles' show? I have heard that Rebgorn is getting pretty anxious in his cave lately, so if something doesn't happen soon, this summer might have to include some new Rebgorn content. Anything new out of Aqua Miles' camp, Miles?
No, I do. There is something that I guess Atlantis did like get destroyed, but there are tall tale signs that Aqua Miles has survived.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's positive, other than Atlantis being destroyed.
I know that was kind of nonchalantly like, oh, well, I guess it was
Yeah.
destroyed, but
Is Detective Chimp still on the
yeah.
case?
Detective Chimp Dan Z is, yes.
oh, that's maybe why he was found alive, possibly. Number 2, Pete, how disappointed are you in Bookwood to be spending his frivolous dollars on luxury items like a dog when he should be helping put food on the table for his family and buying HeroClix instead?
Mark, once again, you're asking the hard questions. You're asking the important questions. And you're asking questions to get right to the point. We've had not 1 week, but 2 weeks with the lack of a Bookwood report.
Yeah.
So the council for the Golden Bookwoods are meeting and discussing what happens if we go 3 weeks. So stay tuned for that. But thank you for the question. I too miss our favorite local tryhards' degenerate buying decisions.
What number 3? What has been each of your funniest or memorable interactions during a game of HeroClix recently? For me, definitely Bookwood thinking it was a 100-point discount if you play all 400 pieces on a team at their 100-point dials. Absolutely that.
Yeah, no, it's mine is a Bookwood one too. It was at Adepticon where he was the first opponent that I let use my my bobble dice, my pop dice, and he was winning and I couldn't roll, and I said, "No more pop dice for you." He saw the doesn't work for me brother in person. He was the first person to see it, and that was the look of disappointment on his face because he thought I was joking until he realized that I meant it was priceless.
Well, yeah, because it was the whole like, all right, well, let me use them too then, and then suddenly it was like,
no, I was not going to have my first game against Bookwood be a loss. That was not going to happen.
Dan, what about you?
Oh man, what did I haven't played enough in like the last like 2 months to be like, yeah, I have a like really niche thing about that, unfortunately. I think it was when the last time I played Harris, he counted out like how he could get to me, and then he realized he couldn't get to me because of the map, and he was just so deflated. Like he like moved around the map. It's like, all right, come get me.
Pete, do you have one?
I've had real fun games against the new guy, Brian, and Matt Looper. I mean, Looper is turned himself into a very, very formidable player. So I've enjoyed our more recent games a lot. So, and they have not gone my way, any of them. So it's I don't know. Got to figure something out here.
And then his 4th question, should we introduce in every country a Royal Rumble match with all candidates for presidency? Votes would instead select the order in which they enter the Royal Rumble, most votes coming in last. I think it's a great idea because you can really tell a lot about a person on how they approach a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it'd be interesting that I guess we would all have all young politicians in office.
That's true.
Because most of the politicians wouldn't even be able to make it up the stairs into the match.
No, they would not be able to get into the ring.
They'd be being like Vince McMahon when he gets into the ring and just destroys both quads.
It's just a bunch of people sitting on the ground with torn quads.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Supreme would win.
Yeah. I want to say this is no way to run a government, but honestly, it's a good idea of many as I've heard recently. So let's make this happen.
Yeah, I think it is. Going to William Day Roker. The key to winning sealed is clearly deciding whom should be the players A, B, and C. How do you decide this on your teams? And which letter are you most often? A lot of people just overthink this, right? There's no real winning strategy. I think I'm usually A because I input the scores. Oliver wants to be between Christine and I, and then Christine is C so that Oliver can be between us, and maybe because her name starts with C also. And that's the extent of our planning.
Yeah, no, I prefer to be C just because that my last name it starts with C, and I'm like, yeah, that works for me.
Dan, there's no D spot, so.
Yeah. Well, my second letter in my name is A, so they know.
Well, he also inputs our scores, so Dan is A.
That was also well in the time of handwriting. I was usually the A slot because I have good penmanship. But now it's like, who knows? I could be any slot at this point.
So here's the thing: when you are the one that like books the team, like you're like everybody like sends you the money, and you're the one that like registers everybody. You automatically get slotted an A most of the time. There's not really any other choice. So that's often what happens. They're like, wait a minute, you're the one that registered the team, and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, you have to be A, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm A. Thanks. Wanted to be C, but nope.
Wanted to be C.
And then does anyone else care about being B or C or not usually?
Actually,
name starts with B or C.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way of actually choosing that stuff.
It's overthought about at this point, and you can't plan for it.
Sometimes I like being B because it's funnier to see like, oh, they don't think depending what you get on the B. I feel like the B slot's kind of the toss up of like what you're gonna get with people. So you could either face like the really good team because they didn't want to slot it in A, or you're gonna get whatever else they built on their team. So,
and that's where everyone thinks different things, and it ends up not playing out. I think it's only the first like I don't know what year of the event where it was like everyone put their strongest in A, and then C was the weakest team usually, and it's been thought and overthought too much. I just don't think there's a rhyme or reason for it anymore when you start going up against everyone's teams. Number 2, I hear a lot of anti-Kryptonian smack on this show, particularly from Miles. Doesn't this seem a bit hypocritical? We all know that Miles is starting his own HeroClix school, and when he does, he's going to demand that everyone calls him Dean Cain. Shaking my head. That's pretty good, Bill.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, you're not wrong though. I will be known as Dean Cain. So.
It was a camp. It's now evolved to a school. Interesting.
No, I'm starting my own HeroClix school.
Okay.
Yeah, not just a camp.
Are all your students going to be guppies?
Well, right now, all my students right now, I have my soon to be 12-year-old. She's going to be making her first official appearance at Clix League West 5. So, yeah, she'll be the first graduate.
Now, are the students going to be called Clixtonians?
I was thinking about that. That could be, yeah, Clixtonians, from the planet Clixtonia.
Clixton?
How long did Clixton? How long before we have Miles go like straight like Star Wars, where he just goes in and lightsabers all the youngins in the school?
Oh no!
It's been really close. I'll be honest.
He would last a full year by the end of the first school year.
Yeah, it would have happened, but Clixton died. Clixton was destroyed. So,
I just want to know about the other follow-up question. Is Miles? Who are you hiring for yard guards at school?
I'm actually still looking, and I was hoping that you would accept the role of being a yard guard.
It'd be an honor.
Okay. Bill, if you'd be interested, you could be a Clixtonian yard guard. Maybe that needs to be a T-shirt.
The Clixtonian yard guards.
Be like the S shield, but it's a C.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a thing.
I hope it is. All right, Bill's third question. Who would win in a match? 20 regular-sized Brock Lesnar action figures or one 3-foot-tall Brock Lesnar action figure? I mean, it's definitely the 20 regular-sized Brock Lesnars, right? There's just too much ruthless aggression going around for one of them.
Well, you're going to have a zombie. One of the 20 figures going to be zombie Lesnar, and they're going to have the mutant Lesnar that looks like Goro. I just think with a zombie, I don't think because we saw it in Marvel Zombies, Galactus didn't stand a chance, and I think that's
true.
gonna happen.
Galactus lost to the zombies.
Yeah. So
This is a great question. I really want to say the 3 foot tall Brock Lesnar action figure, but 20 seems too high. 10 though. 3 foot tall Brock Lesnar action figures leaving that fight, no problem.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a fight I want to see now.
I was trying to think,
Right?
because I'm like, what's the standard size of an action figure? Like what, like 8 inches, something like that, or whatever.
6.5, yeah, 6
and a half,
inches.
yeah.
Yeah, they
So
might
I'm like,
look like 8, but it's probably closer to 6.
Just,
It's
I
8
love the
inches,
ruthless
but
aggression
centimeters.
quote. Can you just imagine 20 of them F5ing the big one?
One after the other.
Yes.
In all your toys, do you have 20 Brock Lesnar figures, Redmond?
Oh, I don't have any. That's one thing that
Oh.
even when I was into it, I think I only had maybe like 4 or 5 actual figures. I didn't
Well,
get many.
Heidenreich is now Brock Lesnar, so if you have any Heidenreichs, they can be Brock Lesnar too.
You did show me that on eBay. Someone's trying to sell a Heidenreich figure as Brock Lesnar.
I love it. I'm thinking about buying it for $7.
God.
All right, going to Joe Ruffing. If the team sealed event allowed players to pick the brick and chase booster from modern sets of their choice, what would you pick? For the brick, I think Smash and Destroy, because it's just a really strong set in the chase potential in there. You just have a better option of or a better chance of getting something good. And then chase booster, probably Deadpool Weapon X, maybe just for some X-Men.
God no,
No,
Collector's Trove.
No, Collector's Trove.
I gotta go with Collector's
Yeah.
Trove if
Really?
we're picking a brick.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree. I think Collector's Trove
For the brick?
for
Look
the
at
brick
how
and
good
the
those
chase
bricks were.
booster.
Yeah, I think both of them. It's just stronger overall. I think for what you're getting.
If nothing else, even if your day's bad, you can sell this stupid equipment Pog for like $7,000.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, one of the potential bystanders is Timebreaker, and you wouldn't be able to get the things that make him good, and if you don't go with a brick of that also.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like really small, and then a lot of the chases you get in Collector's Trove aren't as solid.
I'll take that chance to get that collector, the chase collector. If you like,
What do you think?
everyone else went with a different set, and you went that, and then plus you're gonna have common Thanos,
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
You got common Thanos.
and so you can have 2 people play common Thanos.
You know what? One thing we did not mention for the Team Sealed Chase Booster event, where you get a brick and a Chase Booster, if somebody pulls Destroyer Prime in their brick and then Destroyer Prime in their Chase Booster, does that team just win?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
No?
I don't think.
Oh, stop it,
No.
Dan. Come on. You have people that are 10-0.
Dan-
Literally, the third guy could just get up and just concede one
I
turn
just
in
have a harder
every game.
time
and
You
it'd
just
be
go get a hot
fine.
dog.
I guess I just have a
I-
harder time because
I
he
have
was
multiples of all of the one shots in bricks, at least one of each. Like one of my case, I pulled 5 Heimdall sights. If
I
that's
only
happening,
I'll say I only got one in my
Yeah.
case.
so
So I don't.
It-
That's where I don't know, because it's like in my case, I only got the one, and that was a case. So in the brick, I might have got nothing.
yeah,
So-
but there's also one of the top 4 didn't have Heimdall sight.
So I bet
So-
you if a team pulls a Destroyer Prime in their brick and a Destroyer Prime in their Chase Booster, the other player could just play one shots and win. That whole team could win.
No, the
Oh yeah.
the other player is going to play the 3 Hawkeyes and 3 soldiers.
Oh, they would absolutely win then.
Yeah.
3 Hawks.
And then you're out. Then you're out $50.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If the winning
Point is
team
proven.
if the winning team at Origins for Team Sealed is 2 Destroyer Primes and Hawkeye, and 3 Los Diablos soldiers, I'll take it for $50.
The community one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So okay, so Pete, my comment is not like if they pull that they're gonna win. Yes, if they pull 2 Destroyer Primes, they have a high likelihood of winning. It's my point is that he was only 2% of pulls at an event where they mulliganed like crazy to get extra pulls. So
I
understand.
I understand, but you're not mulliganing with a brick.
I understand
You're
that.
getting Asgardians.
That was another thing was my brick didn't have a prime in it. So again, my view may be completely skewed, or my case had no prime. So
Well, I don't think
just
you've
don't-
been
Yeah, I didn't have
tossed
a
around
prime
by
either.
Destroyer Prime enough to realize how stupid he
Yeah, I didn't,
is
but-
sealed.
I think that when you have a figure like that it's like that's the one bad thing. Even in Team Sealed, like it's just so rough when you have the figure like a Dark Side. It's like certain figures just shouldn't be allowed in Sealed because they're just you're winning with it. Like common
Leave
Thanos.
Dark Side alone. He's fine.
Just to finish up this question real quick, what would you guys gonna say for the brick and the chase booster? If you were
Collector's
picking.
Trophy.
overall.
So
Yeah.
all three of you guys would
Yeah, I
go
would
collector's
do.
trophy for your brick, and then what about chase booster?
Yeah. Collector's Trophy.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with them.
Really? Okay.
If I'm talking about I want to get if I even just simply maximize like my value of like what I can get back, just the chase booster, like, oh, I got equipment, cool. All right, there's my money.
Wait, look
Only
at the
if
bricks
you,
too. Even without that, like you're talking like the universal weapon.
Yeah.
I just don't like and these are all pieces that I like. I think that they're fun in their own sense, but the chance of then pulling, Agatha or Scarlet Witch, which are like okay, but they're not like the beat sticks you want, or Loki or Deadpool.
I said, but like worst case is you're
Primes?
playing common Thanos. You're playing 3 common Thanoses, and you still have a chance to win.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, Namor is an amazing prime if you pull him. Like he's still really good.
Yeah, he is, but he's the super rare prime, right? Your other two
Yeah.
most likely.
Yeah, that the reason why is just because of the low rarity. Like with how good common Thanos is, like I'll take the chance of a brick. Like if we to get a dud, at least we got 3 Thanoses.
Okay, it's a good choice. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that all three of you guys are saying the same thing though for all of them. I'm just looking for like power and the best potential for the most hits.
As much as I thought, like I was like, oh, my first instinct was like Black Panther, but Trove just seems better overall.
Yeah, I think bottom, middle, and top. I think Trove like hits all 3.
Okay.
And the bottom is probably stronger than the top.
But same like another one that I thought for a second would be the easy win would be Masters of Time, but then I was starting to think, what if you don't get the best
Chase.
Colossal, and there's plenty of chases that it's rough to try to build around that chase.
Yeah, no. If we got our brick that we got at Worlds for Team Sealed, I'd take that. Brick.
Yeah, that's fine. We got Darkseid and 2 primes. I'm cool.
Yeah, you guys got a great brick for that. All right, going to Paul Cote. In honor of Father's Day, who is the most daddy or zaddy hero clicks? It's got to be Emperor Gladiator, right? Who actually had the name Gladdy Daddy.
Yeah.
Now the
Other
other end of that though. So how many children do you think so Corsair has at least 3 kids that are in cliques, right? Cyclops, Havoc, and Vulcan. Is there any piece in HeroClix that has 4 or more kids that you can think of?
Magneto?
Legitimate kids? He has 3.
3?
I think 4. Balder,
4,
Loki, Odin.
Okay, so then
Hela.
Odin. Oh, you're talking about the guy. Wait, who are you saying, Jane?
So
Are we counting clones?
no. Oh, I wasn't counting clones. Oh,
Okay.
4 Balder. What is it?
So you're saying Odin?
Hela. Yeah.
Okay. So on the other end of that, maybe Odin is up there just because he has the.
Odin probably, because I mean, the whole entire. You're looking at the entire, Yeah, Norse. So yeah, Odin would have the most.
Okay, so either Odin or Emperor Gladiator for very different reasons.
The most zaddy is
Odin is a father. Gladiator is a daddy. Different.
That's fair.
Yeah. And the most zaddy is Emperor Drip or Dr. Drip.
What is zaddy?
It's like a sexually attractive older man.
Oh,
I had to Google it. I was going to ask Dan what it was.
Especially an older
I
man.
was gonna say, do I have to explain
Pete.
this to you 3?
This is Pete.
is that a new slang?
So many
'Cause
people go by
know it.
Pete. He's his daddy.
It's
I
definitely
don't know
a
this
Gen
either.
Z slang, but it is not new.
Okay.
It's a sugar daddy.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Dr. Drip.
I agree with that then.
I was gonna say,
What
that's
about
very
Disney Plus collector Chase? Similar, and he's got a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he
Yeah,
is a sugar daddy. He would be a zaddy, you know, because
Yeah.
he has all the equipment. So yeah.
He
I
does.
would agree with that too.
All right. Miguel Silva wants to wish everyone a happy Father's Day. Thanks, Miguel.
Thanks, Miguel.
John Michael DiGiulio, if you could play a modern supercharged sealed with your choice of the two sets, what would your ideal set pairings for the format be? Notorious through Smash and Destroy. I'm going to go with what I said before and say 2 Smash and Destroys and 1 Deadpool Weapon X. Again, I just think Smash and Destroy is a really strong set, and you have a very high likelihood to get pieces that are very playable, and then just some X-Men to help kind of complement that. I think that's where I would want to go with it.
Notorious Collector's Trove.
2 Notorious and 1 Collector's Trove?
No, two Collector's Trove, 1 Notorious.
1 Notorious, okay. Dan?
2 Smash, 1 Spider-Verse.
Pete?
I'd go 2 Collector's Trove, 1 Smash.
Okay. Going to Peter Marshfield. So I've recently determined that based on what you guys have said about Harley Quinn being able to trigger and not count towards the first attack is crazy. So he just means that you can make the power action. It's not an actual attack. Or you don't need to take an attack is what he meant. I had to read that a couple times. I was like, I don't think we were saying that she doesn't attack. Or it doesn't count as an action, I should say. Number 1, knowing that and the fact she's only 30 points is even more wild that we don't get more Harleys in the meta. What do we need to do to get her more popular? She definitely deserves to be more popular, but at this point I'm kind of glad I don't have to go up against her. What do you guys, what are your thoughts on her?
Panther and where competitive is that she's really good, but it's crazy to think that like you're not going to build with her. But yeah, it's just where the competitive has gone. With the Chair Panther and wanting to do the collector, or you got the spot. She's still there because past is the future. But
not only does she
apparently
have past though, but she's also like how many people are not playing theme, so she just can go on a team. No one cares that she breaks it now.
she's really good with Prime Kingpin. I still think there's a Prime Kingpin out there, Swarm Team, that will just completely destroy people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because now with Prime Kingpin, everyone's getting plus 2 attack.
What were you going to say, Dan?
Is she at least unique? So you only run the 1, right?
I'm almost positive, but
Yes,
Yeah,
She's unique.
okay, I was
She's
going to
unique.
say, holy shit, can you run multiples of her?
Wait a minute.
No, she's unique.
Okay.
I mean, I'm glad I don't see her any more often than Redmond plays her, honestly. So that's kind of nice. But
Yeah, I don't understand why she's not getting played. I know there's a lot of local teams and hero clicks, like especially like West Coast, Midwest, stuff like that. But I don't know what else you want a 30-point piece to do.
Right. Number 2, you guys have readily converted me over the past several weeks. Based on your comments from H4H, do you think Miss Marvel will show a rise in popularity? I want to say yes, but Silver is it's crazy and there's so many options. There's just it's really just another extremely good play. And it might not work that well on what people want to play or what they're already building with. Silver's just so big. It's hard to say that.
so
I think we still have players that are trying to figure out their niche, and they're going to try and copy that or do something similar with that because of what she does. But it's not going to see an overwhelming amount of difference in play because, like you said, Silver's just all over the place.
my thought is, as long as rivalry exists, characters like that are probably bad. Just because you can just look at your opponent's team and be like, I'm gonna
That's
take.
why rivalry just needs to go away.
I understand that. I'm just
I
current time. I think that's
I
a very
agree.
bad combination. So
And it's kind of one of those things like we were talking about before where it's going to be really good in the beginning, but it's something that was going on at H4H. People are going to know it and see it coming now. So the target on her back is also going to be higher. It won't
also, it's
work
not like-
as good.
that's true. It's also not like she's new though. Like she was really good at Worlds last year. Like that animal team made it top 4, I think, or at least top 8.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like she was bad before. She's just better now because of that. Like the one shot makes her kind of absurd.
Right. A guarantee hit with a follow up trick arrows.
Or whatever you want, yeah.
Yeah. Final question for the past Avengers build in both Silver and Modern. What would you rank as the top 3 primes for this keyword and theme? No actual build for you guys this week. Looking forward to seeing the Ravages this week. Looking forward to seeing you too, Peter. The Modern primes, I would say Reverse Flash, Brother Voodoo, and Black Panther. And then for Silver, Reverse Flash, Captain America from AV60, and Black Leopard. I would put it at the top 3 for both those.
Yeah, I have the exact same.
Yeah.
Like the exact. Yeah, in that order.
Dan?
If you're looking at, I mean, those Avengers ones are probably the best. I still have a soft spot for White Tiger Prime, even if she's not like the most played right now, just because she's so good. What was it? Did you have Reverse Flash on that list too?
On both. They're my top. Yeah, they're my first on both.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're probably top 3.
I have Cap as number 1 for Silver.
Oh, for Silver, yeah. He's
I have Cap as number 1.
Yeah, I probably like him the best, honestly. As far as
that spot thing is huge.
Well, and he's just really good with Mjolnir now. Like that makes him so much more deadly than what he was before. Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's a solid choice for both of those. So.
And Peach.
I think you hit it. I think you hit the pieces. I just the order. I would put Black Panther at top in Modern, and I would drop down a Reverse Flash, but I would keep the same 3. And then in Silver, I would definitely have Captain America 1.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would change.
All right, going to McConnell Lamar. Hey, gents, happy Father's Day again. I can't remember if I said that for the last podcast. I think maybe you did, but happy Father's Day to you too, McConnell. If you have kids, does McConnell have kids?
He does, I think. I'm pretty sure he does.
Number 1, how would you rank Smash and Destroy from 1 to 5 as a sealed set? Compared to everything else in Modern and what we've done recently for sealed sets, I want to put it at a 5. I don't remember we actually had a set this good for sealed.
Yeah, I want to put it at a 5 too. I think like the only like bomb is Destroyer Prime, but even then, I still think that's
the only hiccup.
I
think for like team sealed, it's definitely a 5. I think for general sealed, it's a 4, just because you can wind up with those 2 boosters where you're just. Or are you speaking more generally, just like the set overall?
Just as sealed.
Set overall,
yeah. But it's not a bad thing to say. What you're
saying?
saying.
It's more just you pull those 2 boosters with like. What are your 2 rares, like Bulldozer and good old Dirk there? You're just like, well, I'm going to have a bad day today.
That's why I think Notorious is the only set that for like a 2 booster seal that I would put above this.
Yeah, Notorious was amazing.
I will say that
Notorious, but Masters of Time.
We played pre-releases and a release day event. The only team that I saw that was pretty weak was a team that Dalton had to put together, where it was just pretty much everything, and it at least did a lot of cool stuff and was still fun, even though it wasn't the best team. So I think that says a lot about a set in terms of sealed. Pete, what about you?
I'd put it as a 5. I'd say it's the best sealed set since Masters of Time.
Yeah. It's really, really good for sealed though.
You will get the occasional 2 booster giant pile of trash, because I got it too. Dalton and I had pretty rough events that event, but there still were fun pieces to play.
And that's honestly the important
our
part,
boosters
right?
didn't work well together, right?
I've played some sets where I'm like, this isn't good and it's also not fun.
Right. When you get
Spider-Verse
every
was the
piece,
most recent.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with that. I like Spider-Verse a lot. The hardest thing with that was the move and attack on some pieces, but I actually like sealed for that a lot.
It's just it's just the amount of rollouts was just
that's
beyond me.
Yeah. That's me.
I was gonna say
that's
like I like that set exactly for that reason for sealed.
The worst sealed set ever was War of the Realms. That was just a giant pile of trash. Like there was multiple times I
Iron
ended up with
All
no move and attack. Just completely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let
Out
me,
of 2
don't let me
boosters.
relive that set, Pete, please.
And then number 2 is Ho. Say it right. You know the deal. Pete, do you want a redemption from your WrestleMania voiceover attempt?
Oh,
That was pretty good.
Thanks. It's also like 12:30 in my garage, so I'm sure the neighbors appreciated it.
Jim Duggan.
Yelling Ho.
Yeah.
Number 3, we are likely in for some really exciting weeks ahead for HeroClix. Nationals, Post-Nationals Convo, Scott Porter Lantern Legacy unboxing, Legacy card figure buying frenzy, presumably a World Championship update, presumably IPF news, Champion Click Summer Regional news, Lantern Legacy release, Worlds X-Men 97 info, surprises, anything else I'm missing? What are you most excited for? I think that's a pretty good list, and I can't think of anything else. For me, though, out of everything you listed, it's probably the X-Men 97 info, and I want to hear that that's what we're playing as the new set for Worlds. So it would also mean that it's in Modern for, like, it would be the longest set in Modern for when it is finally time for it to go. And as right now, I think Worlds and X-Men 97 line up, so I'm hoping that's how it goes.
I want my owl bears.
Oh, Owlbears, yes, that does need to come out.
It is. You got pushed to June. It's June.
It got pushed to
My
July
owl-
now.
Oh, is it July?
It just got updated this last week. Yeah, a lot of stuff that was in June got pushed to July.
So we saw. Did we get in a release date for Hercules and the Learning Hydra?
I think it's next year, right?
Oh, also 2026. Okay, all right. Well,
I think so.
then don't mind me. I was actually hoping for Strange Tales. Actually, I know X-Men 97 is like the new hotness after Lantern Legacy, but I'm very much more excited for Strange Tales.
And then that's the furthest out set that's been announced, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. There's so much cool stuff that's gonna come out pretty soon here that it's hard to even look towards that.
The Aquaman set is going to be amazing. You heard it here first. Next DC set, Aquaman.
There will never be an Aquaman
Probably
set.
shouldn't have said that. Probably shouldn't have said that. They're going to switch it.
We talked about this on one of our earlier episodes too, where I think that there should be an Aquaman set with it's just Aquaman and then all of the fish and sea creatures he's had sex with.
Yeah, that's all of them. Even the blobfish. That was his favorite. It's only ugly when it hits the air because that's the pressure. If you actually look at it when it's actually in the depths that it belongs, it looks like a normal.
I'm excited for Worlds. That's what I'm excited for.
Are we getting
Evidently-
the band back together, Pete? Is that what we're
Evidently,
doing?
the Aquaman set. It's up to you guys. You just let me know what you want to do.
Okay. That's more on Miles. Like, I'm happy to get the band back together, but it was more just,
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably going to have to be a repeat.
All right, let's go to our last person here, Anthony Barnstable. Can you rank the value on the product and pricing for different records comparing each of the sealed events against each other? So the Chase Booster Team Sealed event is $242. You're getting a brick, which is then a Chase, frequently a Prime, and a Chase Booster, and then your pricing is for 3 people. The BRs, it's either going to be $24 or $36, and the $36 one, you're also having a Chase Booster thrown into the pricing. And then the plus side on that is that it's over within an hour, and then at the very least, you're getting an LE that's worth more than your entry. And
I would say
then
that's really solid.
the Supercharged Sealed is $56. Still good, but you have a chance to pull really bad. You're locked in then for 3 hours for 3 rounds, and then that also depends on how you honestly you're going to rank for your pricing. So I ranked it as BRs as the most value, and then Team Sealed, and then Supercharged Sealed at the bottom for those reasons.
Is the team sealed the same way as Adepticon, where it was 3 and done?
It is not.
Okay, then yeah, I have the same way then. That the only way if it was 3 and done, like that's
That was that would put it at the top then. That was awesome. You get a brick, and in this instance you would get a chase booster also, and then you just prize out. It's 3 rounds and you're done. Then great. This just you have to play so much more, and the pieces that you are possibly playing with aren't as good.
Yeah, no, I can't. The supercharged sealed is it's so hard from supercharged sealed. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, if you pull rough and then you're locked in for 3 rounds. Like I pulled really bad. I was able to actually win the first 2 still, and then just got absolutely stomped on the 3rd round because it was like the most ridiculous stuff you could have pulled out of the bricks or the boosters. So, do you guys want to, Dan or Pete, do you have anything else to throw in there? What would you rank those based off of what I said?
No, I agree with your ranking as far as like where the product like the versus pricing for like what you're doing. Those are like great. Does he mean? Is it just for Origins? Is that what I'm assuming? That's what he's
I think so.
to?
Yeah.
I thought I was like, is he asking us to like rank these from previous events comparatively to Origins, or do we want to rank them like that? That was where my head went with that.
Well, he's
question.
talking about like the actual value for the event. So like this specifically is a Chase Booster Team Sealed event.
Yeah.
So it would be for this event for sure.
Okay.
And like Supercharged Sealed, right? You could win a Chase Booster, but you have to play 3 rounds. I mean, what if you have to play 3 rounds? You pull like not the best pieces. You have the rares you don't want, and then you end up, stuck last and getting that LE that you got, 5 months ago. And you had to do that for 3 hours. So I'm going to put that one at last. Pete, what about you?
I agree.
Yeah.
Nope, it's 100%. You're correct. It's Battle Royals, it's a team, and then it's finally the Supercharged Sealed.
All right. If you were able to choose any existing set to pair with 2 boosters of whatever set you expect for Supercharged Sealed, what set would that 3rd booster come from? Miles, what would you say for this one?
Deadpool Weapon X, because it does benefit with Brotherhood. So like if you do pull that Scarlet Witch or that what's it called? Quicksilver, you can work it with Deadpool Weapon X.
Mm-hmm.
I think it complements it really well. I also like it's that between that and Collector for me to team up with it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Dan?
Like Spider-Verse just for the differentiation. It's like the set's different and like excels at different things. So I think I like that as a offset pairing.
It'd mix up the games a lot for sure. Pete, what about you?
Any set to pair with the 2 boosters. So we're assuming it's Smash and Destroy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Deadpool Weapon X as the Brotherhood stuff. That makes it a little more fleshed out to play.
Yeah, if it's Lantern Legacy, it's 100% Masters of Time.
Yeah,
Notorious.
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely.
Notorious.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Lantern Legacy.
I was holding out for Lantern Legacy, but it's Sunday night and people are leaving on Wednesday. It would be awesome if it gets announced, but I don't see it happening anymore. We haven't even gotten the Porter videos, right? So,
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
What do you think is the best set of all time for Battle Royales? I'm going to go with either Masters of Time or Notorious.
Yeah, Notorious BRs were fun. Those
Yeah.
were great.
I'm a lot
Those are
older.
great choices.
Yeah, I'm a lot older. It's Indie Clix. I've played it recently. That's how I got my kids into the game. I had a case of a sealed case, and we put it on BR map. Just had a fun time. It's just simple, no cards, just simple powers, no move and attack. So you just move a figure, wait the next turn. Hopefully you can attack. That was it was just.
I mean, to me,
That's
that
what I like
sounds
right there.
terrible, but I respect your opinion, Miles.
Maybe it's because I was playing with my kids.
That's fair. So it's
Alright.
a different kind of special.
Yeah.
Masters of Time or Notorious. I actually preferred Masters of Time over Notorious, but either one of those was just phenomenally fun every battle royal.
Yeah, exactly.
I played a lot. I played a lot of Notorious when we were at Worlds that year, and that was a lot of fun.
I think the only thing that made the Spider-Verse set not one of the better ones is just because of the rollouts and it got frustrating, but the pieces themselves were a lot of fun. So there was a lot of fun with those too, but it just got frustrating.
Yeah.
I was
There
gonna
was
say,
like
I was
barely
gonna
any
say-
points scored, and it was just like, oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I scored a lot of points, but I also had Hypno Hustler, so I was mind controlling like 4 different things every turn.
Hypno Hustler's awesome. I got to play him in an event or a BR. Killed it.
Totally. Oh yeah, when you have like, because I had Norman too, so I would TK and then here, right, 6 range plus 4, 4 bolts.
What about your best set of all time for Team Sealed? I'm
Masters
gonna
of Time.
see Masters of Time. Though it's the same thing we were saying before. Where like if you get that bad chase and that bad colossal, it's not as fun.
That's true. Yeah.
That's just for me. I mean, you guys pulled a great brick and you had fun with it, right? So your
Yeah,
answer
there's
can be
that,
different than
yeah.
mine.
Well, but Miles didn't even get like the best. Like he got a very good dino, but I don't know if like.
But
was that
number one, he
technically-
wanted. Didn't you get the Aqua?
Yeah, he did. He got Green Torch. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you got Aquanix.
No.
No.
I'm
no,
still
I got
Green Torch is still like a lot of fun though, right?
Oh, he put in work. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was it was. Yeah.
But there's plenty of other
He's
ones
the
that you wouldn't
cheapest
want, or in plenty of chases that don't really work as well, So to me, that isn't
Yeah.
high on the list. But I mean, if you had good experience with it, it could be.
I did like to see like Dark Phoenix Saga was like right after it came out, right before like I came back, and
Same.
I do that set looked really cool and would have been fun, I think, in teams.
The only problem with that set is that the main set was really small, so I think the matches would have gotten pretty repetitive and boring. But the like Dark Phoenix probably won that event, right? Team Sealed.
Oh, had to have. There's
Yeah.
no way. she didn't.
So we were still really new when that set came out, and so we did not get to play any Team Sealed. Dan, what about you? Your favorite Team Sealed? Team Sealed.
I've only played in a few, to be honest. Now, so what was it? I know you and Christine didn't like it as much, but I actually really enjoyed playing Wheels of Vengeance in Sealed or Team Sealed.
Oh,
so.
see, yeah, that was another one where, I mean, you had a fun team, and I think mine was like fine, but the overall experience of the event with Wheels of Vengeance, where people were getting like Cathan, if you didn't get Cathan, then the chances that you weren't winning the event was also, again, really small.
No, I know. Well, I don't even know if Catan won that event, to be honest.
He did,
I
yeah.
don't-
Oh, he had to.
Oh, he did?
He had to
He
have been
did,
one of
yeah.
those 3 teams.
Yeah.
I just don't remember, and it's not on units, so I don't know.
I-
But otherwise, I think Notorious is probably my best experience of playing Seal. Obviously, like I pulled like the best piece I could pull for that, but
What did you have?
I played Camo.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Oh, yeah, Christine killed it with Camo that
Yeah.
event.
I was 6-0 that day, so it was just like, we
Yeah,
made
that would
top.
make sense that you would pick that one. Then. That was
Yeah,
a
it
good
was
run.
like, yeah, it was a good run. It was just like did one of my. I looked back to hopefully see one of my other teammates had won.
Pete, what about you?
Just personal experiences, Masters of Time. So, I mean, we got exactly what we wanted.
Yeah,
So,
but Miles,
it was
like
a-
we
it was a
literally
pretty
rolled
fun
into
day.
the distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with maybe Exoswords. We haven't done any Team Sealed with Smash and Destroy yet, but I'm thinking that might actually make the list once it's done. But maybe that's just like a recency thing too. We've just been talking about it, and I'm very optimistic it's going to be really good.
You guys did really well with your brick of X or Exoswords. Like you guys didn't get the best brick, but you guys still did really well with it.
Yeah, I really actually liked that as a sealed set, and you kind of got to pick a lot of different options for the types of pieces that you played. It was all over the place, and we got the.
You had Lady Roma and you had Mad Jim.
Yeah. No, we had Lady Roma. Did we get both? We had Lady
Yeah,
Roma
you had-
and Mad
you
Jim,
had-
maybe.
You had both, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I was gonna say I remember Lady Roma for sure, but yeah, we did get Mad Jim. All right, what about
I will
Super?
say next phase.
Oh, what's up?
Next phase, I really wanted to play Team Sealed because that set actually looks like actually balanced for a Team Sealed event.
Next phase. I don't know. Where was it? Was there any events that was actually used for Team Sealed? I don't think
No.
it was.
No.
No, that's why I said like that'd be a set that I would have wanted to.
Yeah, that probably would have been a fun one. What about Supercharged Sealed?
I haven't played enough of it to be super keen with what's like the best sets for that, honestly.
All right, 2 next phase, 1 Disney Plus.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Pete, do you have one?
2 Masters of Times, 1 Notorious.
That would be a good one too.
Well,
they have a lot of stuff that could play well together.
I was gonna say I'll flip that. Go 2 Notorious, 1 Masters at a time.
I'm gonna bring it back to X-Men and say 2 X of Swords and 1 X of Swords OP booster.
That's a good one.
The coolest thing about Supercharged Sealed is the chance to play different sets together in a sealed format. The negative side is that it's still just 3 boosters and you have to make a 400-point team. So there's still a chance that you kind of get just not great.
Would dropping it to 300 make that more appealing? As like, hey, you same structure of format, but you just have like more to pick from then?
Honestly, probably, but it might make it harder for someone to justify purchasing 3 boosters.
Yeah, but you're still getting... I guess I don't know. I don't see that as you're still getting.
Well, the third booster would help you. Hopefully, at least you'll get 1 good pack out of the 3.
That's what I'm.
No, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I think that it would be better. I think it might just the downside to that. It might be harder for people to justify buying 3 boosters if they're only going to build a 300-point team. I like that idea, honestly.
Yeah, I'd be more keen to actually do it at 300 points. I'm not a huge fan of points. Like I realize silver is because, like but yeah, with
the silver is different.
With sealed,
I
that's what I mean. Yeah, it's a totally different monster. With sealed, I just don't like the 400 points because like if you get like a Deadpool Weapon X or or even Collector's Trove, like or let's say Smash and Destroy, you get that Prime Destroyer. Now you get 130 points to build with. That's just overkill.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Like here, I have a 270-point destroyer with way more backup. That's bad.
Yeah. All right. His last question: should players remember to bring maps if they are only planning on playing sealed? With the exception of battle royales, yes, you should. And if you want to put some thought into it, have some variations and know the types of sets you're going to be playing with, I would say. Otherwise, just bring maps.
I say yes, but there is a caveat, and that is that if we have a new player that is testing price sealed, I think it'd be nice if we had which I believe they do, they'd have maps for them to borrow. But if you're a player going there expecting to play sealed, then yes, you need to bring maps.
Yeah, it's like the obvious stuff to bring, right? Tokens that
you would think.
Just
oh shoot, I don't have tokens. Do you have post-it notes? Here, let me rip a little piece of paper.
I mean, no, you would think, right? But it happens way more often than it should.
Oh no, that's exactly why I said that. Because I played against I think 3 people that did that. Yeah.
All right, final thoughts, Miles.
I'm sad I can't make it, but still looking forward to Worlds. Maybe we'll find Aqua Miles in the next month. We shall see.
Dan?
I can't play tomorrow, but maybe I'll get some modern practice in there eventually. So.
Oh, you can play. Let's make it happen.
Miles and Dan roll 20 tomorrow night. Pete, final thoughts?
I hope you guys have a great time at Origins, and I'm looking forward very much to Worlds. And happy Father's Day to everybody out there that either is father directly or takes that role in someone's life. Very important relationship. So thank you for what you all do.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to all the HeroClix playing dads out there. Ali and I will be at Origins this week. I'm super excited for the trip and excited to see all the people there, especially since I missed out on H4H this year. It really sucks not seeing people for extended periods of time. A lot of people not since Worlds last year even, right after that at Red, White, and Clix or even Champion Clix. Feels way too long, so I will see a lot of you very soon. And remember... Keep rolling, 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 keep rolling, rolling.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya!
Click it!
Cause I'm solar, la 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 la, I'm solar.
Like a fire rocket.